Oh man, oh man, oh man. What is up, my people? Who is there to hear the boys speak? Throw some A's in the chat. Throw some A's in the chat if you can hear your boy talk right now. How is it going, family? Good to see everybody tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Samantha H, my moderators. What is up, Hound? How you doing? Oh my goodness. DJ, I saw you up there somewhere, man. What is up with you? Joe H, what is up? Lil AR15, good to see you here. Good morning to you, Indra H. Northwest, what is up? What is up? Guys, Randy Gonzalez, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by, you guys. KYP, hello to you. MM, what is up? What is up? Oh my goodness, you guys, I really appreciate everybody for stopping by. Lynn ML, how you doing? Dips Patel, good to see you here. T Wood, what is up, my dude? And Fern 5, man, haven't seen you up in the picture in a minute. What is up, my dude? Good to see you here. And I know that you've actually been, I'm actually working on something specific to your type of trades, man. I'm actually trying to develop some type of options strategies, man, that are going to be introduced specifically for spy plays, right? So I know that you've been actually reaching out to the people out there and seeing it. If anybody is interested, right? I'm having a little bit of trouble talking right now, guys. Please, apologies in my behalf, right? But I'm very happy to see everybody here tonight, you guys. What is up, my Hound? And what is up, Buckeye Ace? Chase Cross, good to see you here too. Sebastian Lim, what is up, my man? What is going on with you over there? Are you winning? Are you losing? What is the deal? Thank you so much for your donation, dude. I really appreciate that, man. I can't tell you how far that actually goes. Okay, I know I owe you these. I know that I know that I've been missing a lot of the tickers, right? We've been going through some crazy times out here, and also going through some weird, very weird technical issues. In fact, I actually my interface, my Apogee Symphony, it is kind of kaput. So right now I actually put together a system that I had back in the day, and I'm surprised that it's even still working, right? So the fact that I actually didn't come on to say, what is up, family, the moment that 0 hit, is because I was trying to wiggle the mute button. But very interesting setup over here, you guys, but it's all good. And actually, it does have some pretty nice little things built into here, so we can actually have some fun with them, like these types of things. Hello, everybody. Very interesting things in this little interface here, guys. Love that everybody stopped by. What's up, Joe H? Man, thank you so much for that dono, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. So you're starting to do some longs, and thank you for warning on shorting. Absolutely, my dude. Really appreciate you stating that, man. And I can actually continue, giving that information on long positions, on short positions as well. I'm just not going to rate them for shorts, right? Because there's too many longs here, right? But my Joe H, I appreciate you, my dude. And Buckeye Ace, what you talking about, AMC, man? Chris W, what is up? Good to see you here, my dude. Really appreciate everybody coming down tonight. We're just going to allow the chat to fill up just a little bit so that we can gain the projects for tomorrow, right? Who's long what, who's short what. Guys, please go ahead, chat, let me know what you guys are doing so far. What are you short? What are you long? What are the plays happening right now? I see that TRKA made a massive move to the upside. AMC also ripping to that upside. Oh my goodness, man. Lots of opportunities coming in the market. Okay, you guys, there's going to be a lot of plays that can be actually hedged against our losing positions. Okay, so in this case, we want to pay close attention to what's happening here. So by the way, you guys, I want you to chime in and tell me how my mic sounds. Does it sound just as good as it did before? Does it sound clear? Do I sound like crap? What is the deal? Let me know what it is. What is up, Cal L? My moderator, Cal L, stepping into the chat. What is up, dude? Good to see you. Good to see you. Sebastian Lim, COSM seems to be getting ready for a move as well. I know, man. I've been actually talking about it. It's just that I hate having to cover it all the damn time because it's moving sideways, right? Just like CL and V. things are looking good, but I just hate that it moves sideways, right? So Dosari, good to see you here. Really appreciate you for stopping by. Hey, Big Brain, did you load NKLA? Got another one for you once I take profits. No, I have not loaded NKLA. Actually, I was talking about it with Cal last night, with moderator Cal. And he said, dude, I think this thing is ready for a nice pop to the upside, maybe tomorrow. And it, in fact, did move about 6%. And Cal's feelings were actually pretty good on that. The real move to the upside, which could be about a 22% move, statistically speaking, I believe won't come in for another 2 days. And I actually have that prepped for you right now, Dosari. I want to just show you what I ended up doing, okay? So let's see. That was NKLA. And I think I had it right over here. I definitely want to show you this because it's very cool stuff here. And oh my goodness. Sorry guys, what you're viewing here is actually this is the, you know, for the Cripstex holders, you guys already know, you guys have Arc RSI, right? So this is an RSI that I'm currently in development of, right? So I'm actually trying to get this thing to meet my demands. So you're looking at anytime that RSI signal actually goes above the middle, which is the 50%, when we're jumping into the bullish control zone, I am having the RSI immediately change colors into green and then turn into red once it fails that 50%. So I didn't mean to show you guys this yet. It's just it's very beta right now, but I'm still in that development process. Okay, so it's looking pretty nice for this ticker, but there's a lot to I'm sorry, for this indicator, but there's still a lot to figure out. Okay, so I'm not going to be releasing it just yet, and I'm starting to implement auto divergent locators, okay, or identifiers. So it's going to be able to tell us not only, you know, that it's in bullish control by turning green, but it's also going to tell us where divergent drives are starting to print as well. So be patient with me, guys, as I am new to this and I am still developing the indicator, and it will be released to the Cripstex holders for free. All right, so let me go ahead and now reference what I was talking about for NKLA. Very interesting that I'm not seeing my load here, but I did show it to moderator Cal just last night, and I hope it's this one. Let me see if it actually is, and I think it is. Blah, 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 blah. But guys, if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And this is actually for you. Is it right here? Oh man, come on. What is going on? I'm gonna have to dump. There we go. Here we go. Okay, so I did run a back test on this, a volatility versus momentum, right? And we are looking at a total of 19 iterations throughout the entire trading history of the asset in the 12-hour, actually in the daily time frame, sorry. And those iterations are actually consistent of any time that volatility has contracted, right, to critical contraction, which is within the within the 15 percentile, and started an expansion phase from that 15% of critical contraction. I've actually taken metric of the upsides. Let me show you just by zooming in, right? I didn't have this prepared. I didn't know you're going to show up. So I actually measured the upside thrust, the duration of the iteration, and however many times that the volatility versus momentum profile guessed the upside correctly versus incorrectly. So these are my samples, statistically speaking, right? So what I ended up doing was creating a mean out of this entire thing. I didn't actually create a first standard deviation of it. I actually just created the flat center, right? So what we're looking at here are a total of 19 iterations, of which 13 were guessed correctly, involving volatility versus momentum from contraction to expansion. You're looking at an averaged upside thrust of 68.42%. So it's not bad, right? So now the average upside thrust upon meeting this criteria or this condition, you're looking at about 23.35% to the upside over the span of just under 18 days, and this is proof of work. So it's not bad, and it looks like it actually may be prepping for that move shortly, and it looks like it's already in play actually. So if we can just go ahead and reference volatility versus momentum, you can actually see here that we are definitely pivoted towards that upside. We're still within critical volatility, but we want to make sure that we can get both of the component, which is the volatility component of the BBWP, right? We want to make sure to get this and the moving average pivoted towards the upside and beyond the 15 percentile, or at the very least beyond the 10 percentile. Okay, so from that move, I can see what was it again, 63%, I think we said, right? Yeah, then we can see that 63% move happen, right? The 23% move to the upside happened. So it's looking good. It's looking pretty good. I just wanted to run a back test and kind of impress some people. So, but it is there, man. It actually is looking nice. So I guess I can consider this to be something, right? Maybe I can just name it here that I did sort of cover it, right? So ticker symbol NKLA. Yeah, so that's essentially what I'm looking at, guys. So we're going to be going over a few tickers tonight, and I want to make sure that everybody gets their chance. Please remember that I do owe a few tickers from the last ticker picker, and I want to make sure that I can respect that too. Okay, you guys, I don't want to just dip out and kind of forget what they said. And I actually did get a request from a few people in the early access for the ticker picker in Discord, of one of which is actually Hounds. Let's see, what ticker was that, Hound? It was a RCRT. So I have that in the list as well. So we're going to be going over that list shortly, okay, you guys? And yeah, not a problem. Actually, Mark Roach, I know that I do owe you one, okay, my dude? I know we end up going over them anyway, but I'm going to go ahead and favor one for this time, because you always sit back and watch everybody else get their tickers revised live, and you always assist everybody in their information on their tickers. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that we can get you situated, okay, my dude? So please rest assured that we're gonna be looking at also ticker symbol BRLL, of which, you guys, I think there is a setup in that ticker. Very cool stuff happening with that ticker BRLL, okay, you guys? I know something is brewing there. Oh my goodness. And I also want to make sure to get Sebastian Lim's ticker request out of the way as well, okay, you guys? So that's actually going to be oh yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for your donation. That means a lot. Really got you, man. We'll go ahead and take a look at ticker symbol TRKA as well. Very impressive moves for that ticker. I love it. I love it. I love it. One thing that's interesting, actually, my audio is able to be presented in stereo right now, so it's actually quite interesting that you're able to listen to music now left and right, and not only so mono, man. So Cal L saying BRLL is actually an old fave, man. Yeah, it's setting up for you know what, I'm just gonna spill the beans right now. It's setting up for another 112% move to the upside. What is up, you guys? Make sure to hit that like button, man. We're gonna go ahead and go over those tickers and get those opportunities in line for our ticker prep for tomorrow's trading session and the following days. Everything is looking very good here. So Keith Finney, we're definitely going to be looking at NVOS. It's still on the schedule here. I know that we've actually been missing that one as well. Jimmy Bauer was one of them that was actually asking for that ticker to be reviewed. Okay, so definitely rest assured that we're going to try to get through as many tickers as we can today. Okay, I know that there's a lot of people still waiting for me, right, you guys? But I love that you guys are so patient. I love that you guys still come back and say hello to me. But you know I'm trying my best here, and we'll get that through, okay, you guys? So what is the chat saying? Dosari, what's up? Shorts are capitulating. Don't get stuck if you're short. Pigs get slaughtered. Okay, yeah. That's what actually I've been warning a lot of people about, getting short any stock right now. In fact, there's a lot of opportunity. And one thing to know, you guys, tomorrow is PPI data. That tomorrow is going to be the reporting for the PPI data. Okay, so that is the producer price index. We are expecting a massive jump to the downside, of which is 4%. We are sitting at a last reporting 6.4%. So you're looking at a huge drop in expectations. So if we do get anything above 4% of PPI data, we are definitely going to face some very volatile and very, very turbulent times in the markets. So I really need you guys to be very careful, but it looks like we're still getting some positive data. We remember what happened with the CPI. The CPI ended up coming in with what? It was a 6.4 read. The last reporting was 6.5. We were expecting it to be a 6.2, but we didn't get that 6.2. However, it still came in a little bit lower. So everything is pretty good nonetheless still. Okay, so Dosari, what you saying? Macam. How can I pronounce that? Is that Macam or is that Mock AM, like Mock the car, or Mock Cam? I'm sorry. There's just a bunch of letters right there. I butcher everybody's name all the time. I am quite embarrassed by doing that, you guys. But please know that I mean no disrespect if I mispronounce your name. I'm actually just weird like that, right? So Maca. Okay, gotcha. So is the MACH matcha or maca or maca? Right? That's another little thing right there. A lot of ways that you can pronounce things, right? So let's see. Dosari saying, I suspect it was leaked from today's close. What? Are you talking about the PPI data being released today? What did it come in as? Did it end up coming in as a PPI beat? So CPI leaked based on Monday's action, and PPI was leaked based on today's close. We should be okay. All right, so that literally means that markets, and I'm talking about risk on assets, everything, right? So including equities and crypto, we may continue on to the upside tomorrow, which is going to be very positive for AMC, for GME, for MULN, for GTII, for literally anything under the sun that's not currently getting manipulated to the ground, right, you guys? So everything is looking good. Dosari, thank you so much for providing that information. You wouldn't happen to have a digit for that, would you? You wouldn't happen to know like a figure, or was it just something that you heard and then kind of expressed it to me here? That's awesome. Nonetheless, even if you don't, that's great news. So yeah, you guys, I'm really excited to be streaming tonight because there are a lot of opportunities in the market, and we are going to be looking over these tickers. Let's go ahead and go over a list right now. Okay, you guys, I just need to make sure that I add actually one more over here because there are a few requests coming in from that early request, right? And we want to make sure that we cover it all for retail and for the requests, right? So we're looking at let's see. So we already covered NKLA. Good thing there. And let's see. The last ticker that I was going to add, which was which one? Oh, yeah, that's right. It was the TRKA. We're definitely going to be looking at that one. Not a problem. All right. So the ticker list that I have thus far is, you know what? I think I may be able to. Actually, no. Okay, so it's SINT, right? We have BRLL. We have ticker symbol MARA, M-A-R-A, which is another Bitcoin miner. Ticker symbol WULF is also a Bitcoin miner. TRKA, we have ticker symbol FOXO and INPX. We have ticker symbol BOIL. Let's see, we have RCRT. Yeah, we have AMIH. And ticker symbol VS as well. We still have NVOS, AMV. I actually owe a bunch of tickers still. We still have MVIS, ATVI. We have Finger, Lucid, GME. And yeah, good stuff, guys. Everything is looking pretty good. I remember we were talking about ticker symbol HILS the last time, and I remember it being a pretty interesting situation or an opportunity for that one. So yes, Dosari saying the power of derivatives, 100% agreed. So Dosari saying crypto options couldn't find a match cheaper to Bitcoin. We'll know for sure in a week. Yeah, actually Bitcoin just ran a massive run all the way to I think it was maybe even 20. It was already 24.9, almost $25,000. I'm not sure where it is now, but this was an upside that I was actually warning some people in the Discord about. I said that we were going to face a short-term pullback to around 21,003, followed by a continuation onto the upside, likely to touch 24.5, and we went beyond that actually. So this is very powerful moves coming in the markets, and as you know, the valuation of Bitcoin is quite high, so that has the power to move broader markets as well. Okay, remember what happened to you know, in the black swan events like Luna and the black swan event like the, you know, the Sam Bankman-Fried with the FTX thing, all of that actually pressured the markets in ways that we really didn't want to feel, right? So rest assured that things like that can move the markets, as well as Tesla, as well as Apple. You remember what happened with that Netflix capitulation a few months ago? That also brought the price action down a bit. So I just want to make sure that everybody is absolutely safe in the markets and understands that we're in the process of releasing macroeconomic data. Okay, so remember, tomorrow is going to be PPI. We want to make sure to be very careful. If anything comes in higher than the 4% I mean, I understand that we already got the thing right, and we're going to be okay tomorrow. I understand. I'm just saying that if the markets overreact or whatever, just be prepared. Okay, it's our jobs to prepare. Just that's it. All right, you guys. So I want to go ahead and start touching down on the tickers coming in. So I want to load up ticker symbol SINT. Let me just go ahead and get that move in here, as I have not actually loaded that one. And let's see. SINT, what is up? Let's see. So we've actually talked about this ticker once before. Okay. Dosari, have a good night. Be safe, be well, and I will catch you later. I'm sorry that this was a little bit of a later stream, right? But this is usually that same time, but no problem. Please be well, and we'll talk later. Okay. So, yeah, actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and start. Yeah, so we're going to officially start the ticker SINT now, and let's see what it's got for us. Okay, so the last time we spoke about this, we had a broadening descending wedge happening right over here, and we are actually, let's see, test number 1, 2, 3, and test number 4 actually failed big time. Okay, so that means that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 fail. If we fail this and continue the price action in the manner of which we're continuing on, which, by the way, I can't even see. Let me see. Wow, this is really incredible stuff. Hold on just a moment. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so we're looking at $2.60, and let's go ahead and reference the 12-hour, $2.63. I do like this candle here, but I have to tell you that this is still looking massively bearish. This is one of very, very few broadening descending wedges that have actually failed and have continued on to that downside. And in fact, it may actually even be giving us the hint as to how it's being traded. So let's just go ahead and make a trend line adjustment here and align it to these touch points, just to see if that can actually play some type of confluence here with the price action. And as you can see, it actually is. So I'm not saying that that's just how it's being traded. I'm just saying that there's a potential that that's also what some traders are looking at based on trend lines, right? So some people trade on diagonal lines. A lot of people do not like diagonal lines. So just know that there are several types of traders. What I was saying here on the 12-hour iteration candle is that I do like this. Hammer candle printed at the bottom of a downtrend, which usually signals a potential continuation to the way up. Thank you, Mark Roach. And just know that this can actually continue on to the upside, but please be aware that that SMA 10 is located right above us. And to get a little more surgical, we can actually load up that EMA 7, and let's just see right over here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get rid of our old fibs because they're no longer needed. In fact, we are just going to draw some new ones in. So let's take into account the last 12-hour iteration. Okay, so we're going to do it from the swing high or the wick high to the wick low, and we can see what we're doing right now. Okay, so we're actually let's see, the one spot 272 is actually landing $2.87 right in confluence with that EMA 7, which now actually I'm compelled to give you a resistance zone. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at the SMA 10, right? So right over here, I'm going to do it right from the SMA 10 to about the, let's see, to about the EMA 7. We'll just make it a little higher. No, we'll keep it right there, actually. One spot 272 at $2.87. Let's reference momentum to see if we can get any upside to meet that, because this is looking a little bullish, and it looks like the 12-hour may actually start getting that price action in. Let me just adjust this RSI a little bit. My RSI is just going to show up just a little bit different because of what I was mentioning before, right, on this You know what I was talking about. It doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and now look at the immediate short-term time frame, 30-minute, and see what it's got for us. Okay, so you can see that we're already making an upside continuation here almost immediately. So let's look at the 15-minute micro time frames. You know I don't really like those time frames, but we're finding support from that 14-day simple moving average, suggesting that continuation to the upside. Mind your RSI signal. We're right at that. I'm talking about the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile. Okay, so when we're in this zone, we can actually expect a pull right into the following zone, which would be the bull strength percentile. Okay, let's look at the bi-hourly now and continue building our puzzle pieces to see if we have upside. Oh my goodness, good stuff here on the bi-hourly, as it's now it's actually sitting comfortably outside of the gravitational zone from the bear strength percentile. So that means that we're actually still suggesting a continuation to that upside. Very good stuff here. It's actually pretty healthy. Okay, now let's see the 6 hour. 6 hour looks like it's losing a little bit of bull steam. However, it's still suggesting that that upside, and also very much getting close to that gravitational zone of the oversold percentile. So still looking pretty good here. Very nice. The 12-hour time frame is suggesting a limited upside here, but please rest assured that this actually looks like it's more consolidation than it is anything at all. So let's reference the daily and not use that one too much into consideration. Neither the daily. Okay, so where would the moves actually start happening? Let's see. Okay, so what this tells me, did you just notice how every single time frame was just straight across? That actually tells me that the ticker is in shock from the capitulation that it actually faced. Okay, so remember that this thing actually recently faced a stock split. This was in December 20th, 2022 of 1-to-100 ratio. Okay, so there is news that came out today too, it looks like. Let's see. Closes $12 million public offering of units. Okay, cool. It's interesting. I'm wondering if it's actually moving up on this. This is 5 days ago. So no, man, let's go to the daily and see if there was anything relevant. No, still 5 days ago, nothing really. So the earnings is actually going to be right in the earnings reports of March, of course, where everything else is coming in. Yeah, so essentially this is looking like it's going to be moving sideways after some upside. So if that upside is going to happen, the first section I'm going to give you is, of course, that 276 to about that 287, followed by a best case scenario here. Okay, this is going to be very much best case, and I'm not going to touch it right at the 30 period EMA. I'm actually going to refer to the candle high here, because it is in heavy confluence with this section here, and also what could be that massive trend line that we're respecting right now, right? So that target is, we'll make a trend line right over here so that you can see what I'm actually looking at, okay? So it could be right about here, about $3.18, and let's see where that lands us. So the $3.18 lands us right above the 1.618. So it is possible that it can do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and now draw a resistance range of 305 to about $3.18. Okay, so these are both of your sections here. Please remember the first one was 276 to 287. And the second one was 305 to 318. Okay, Mark Roach. So be careful with this one. It looks like it's going to have some limited upside. I would please know I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment. Okay, you guys, please know that I cannot actually suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Okay, I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be just fine. Okay, you guys. So if what I was saying, Mark, is that I would consider maybe liquidating position or minimizing risk at least within this first range, and then also the rest of your position if it is that you want to get into the best case scenario situation here. Okay, so this is the likely area for us to reach, and this is the less likely area for us to reach, but the resistances are there nonetheless. Okay, so please be very careful with your longs in this ticker. Okay, so that is actually going to do it for ticker symbol S. Actually, you know what, let's go ahead and rate it. Chat, dive into the chat and let me know what we're rating this. D- would be your max loss, D+ would be break even, your C+ is going to be I'd say some profit with risk, right? And your B's and A's are going to be the higher portfolio bets. All right, so Joe H giving me a C- for the longs. Please remember, if you need to know right now what this valuations are, right? So you're looking at a market cap of about a 1.07 mil. The float is looking at, let's see, a very tiny 491,000. High risk here. Okay, so let's see. Mark Roach giving it a C. Sebastian Lim giving it a C+. T Wood giving it a C- as well. All right, guys. So I like the sentiment already placed behind this, right? So I'm gonna give you my personal take on this, right? So let's go ahead and make a long rating here and text. Let's see. Sorry, I have to, type that in twice. So long rating here, I am actually going to give this a C+. Okay, you guys. So this is not bad. It's going to be a momentum play. It's a scalp play. And these are kind of nice because you can just make a quick little 5 to 10%, even if that, right? And then just kind of exit the ticker and then continue on your thing into another play, right? So this is it's looking nice. This can actually play a little. Let's actually figure that out. How high can this actually go? So say for a fact we just jump in. Yeah, just like I said, look at that, 9.43% to the top side of our resistance range. And you're looking at about 5%, 5.36. I said 6% to 10%, right? So this is literally that gap. If you're looking at the best case scenario, you're looking at 16.21%. And the top side of the best case could be a solid 21.17%. Not bad, right? So just know that there is risk involved in this because it is very... the float is super tiny. We want to watch out with things like this, right? Yes, absolutely. Fibs are crazy. SINT, absolutely, man. Very good stuff here. All right, so let's go ahead and just finish off the analysis here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and note for the long rating, this was a C+, right? So very good stuff. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker. Okay, you guys, very happy that everybody's stopping by. Please make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, do not fall for the comments, for the WhatsApps. Do not fall for the text me and the helplines and all that crap in the comments below. Do not fall for that, you guys. That is not me. All right, I actually had a weird situation a couple months ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, of this guy who fell for it and started spreading all this thing about me being the person who actually took his money. I'm like, what, man? No, I didn't take your money. All right, so just rest assured that I'm not ever going to put my phone number on my Arca handle. Okay, it's not going to be Arca and then my phone number there. That's not me. That's not me, all right, you guys? So, Cal L saying, don't stop by. You can't leave. You must stay and watch to see 2 epic Easter eggs at the end of the stream. You have no idea what those Easter eggs are going to be, which is why you want to make sure and stay and chill. Thank you, Mark Roach, for the great TA hit, man. Absolutely happy to do it. So, let's go ahead and just finish off the ticker symbol SINT and move on to ticker symbol BRLL. So now, Cripstex holders, moderators, I'm talking to everybody, chat, the public, everybody. I need you all to listen to this ticker, okay? Because I think, let's see, a Cripstex subscriber, his name is Randy. He actually presented this to me, I think last night when he actually, in completing his subscription to the indicators. He said, by the way, can you actually take a look at BRLL? And I said, yeah, no problem, man. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. No problem at all. Thank you so much, Mark. And I ended up looking at it, and I realized that from a back test that I ran in January 8th, I think, or January 6th, I believe, right around there was a setup that involves volatility versus momentum in particular. It's actually a setup that's actually from contraction to expansion. Okay, so you can see here that I ran that back test, right? These are all my notes throughout the entire trading history on the daily time frame here. And we have a total of 16 iterations involving volatility versus momentum. Remember, volatility is direction neutral. Okay, so we want to make sure to pair this with stochastic momentum so that we can gauge that bias for direction. So upon the completion, actually this signal already fired upon both of the K% and the D% of the stochastic momentum, which is a 3-day exponential moving average and a 14-day simple moving average. Both of these actually fired off Monday the 13th, okay, at the opening of this candle here, which was at, let's see, 0480. So almost 5 cents. And the price action is right now sitting at 517. Okay, so that's kind of early. All right, so that signal fired off, and the implied move, here you go. Let's go over those stats. You're looking at a total of 16 iterations, of which 12 were guessed correctly to the upside, involving volatility versus momentum. 4 were incorrect, right? So we have an upside accuracy of 75%, with an averaged upside thrust of a massive 112% to the upside. So that's good over the span of just over 8.5 days. Okay, so it just fired yesterday, and the move has already continued on to the upside. Okay, so how far have we moved, and where could that target be? First of all, the statistical target that we're looking at for that upside is landing at about 10 cents, so 1023 to be exact. Remember that these are statistics. They are not certainties, okay, you guys? Those are very important things for us to consider. All right, you guys? So let's go ahead and now take a look at the price action right now, because how far have we moved up from that upside, right? So we're looking at, well, as of yesterday, we actually made a 10% move. So now we're sitting at, let's see, we're sitting at oh my goodness, man, we're sitting at just about 7% to the upside of a statistical average of 112. So this is looking pretty juicy, as I said in the Discord and also here at the beginning of the stream. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and notice that we drew this ascending wedge, a rising wedge, sorry, some time ago, and we actually did notice that we were going to make that that downside to this target here, but which we actually didn't get to go all the way down there, right? So we actually made the target here. We're respecting the rising wedge, so everything is still looking very good. We were already seeing a target of 113% based on the last iteration, of which we already followed as well. Okay, and this was right over here. This move to the upside was that move to the upside. Okay, so there is one more variable or one more sample added to the statistics, but trust me when I say it's not going to change too much. It's probably going to be 113 or 112.9 apart from where we already are, right, you guys? So let's go ahead and just take a look at the price action thus far. On the 8-hour chart, we noticed that we were on a pennant, and I had been talking about this pennant acting very strange. Pennants in general. I'm talking throughout the markets, we've actually been failing these pennants, then recover, which is very weird. And I've actually never seen that, and it actually may be something that we have to keep in mind, as it's probably being introduced into the markets as a change from here on, right? So if you take a trend line from the top of the triangle down to the lowest point of the triangle and apply it to the area of breakout, you can see that the price action came pretty much to that. Okay, so now we continued on that bounce to the upside, huge V recovery, and we've just been chopping around this box right here. Okay, so what is it looking like though? Let's continue on with the analysis, and we're going to look at the RSI now. Okay, notice right here on the daily time frame that I have caught, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 drives of regular bullish divergence, and they are printed on the daily. So we do have to give this some weight, as it is suggesting a continuation to the upside, and it is already in play. All right, so let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and reference the 30-minute immediate short term to see what we have for that price action. Okay, so you can see that on the 30-minute, RSI is already suggesting a pretty aggressive upside continuation, approaching that gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, which would essentially continue and pull us, right? It'll essentially pull us right into that bull strength. So this is good. Let's go ahead and now move on to the bi-hourly. Bi-hourly is suggesting a continuation to the upside as well. And now it has converted that 14-day simple moving average as a form of support. And now it looks like it's just past the center of the bull weakness percentile. Very good stuff. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. All right, we have a lot of tickers to cover. We just need to make sure to do it. All right, so it looks like a little bit of consolidation here on the 6-hour, but please go ahead and bear in mind that we do have a little bit of a hint from that 14-day simple moving average suggesting a little bit of an upside even still if this were to fail, which would potentially be by mid-morning to, maybe a little earlier than mid-morning, right? Maybe 10 a.m. or 9 a.m., right around there, this can actually face a downside, but then it would literally be caught by the 14-day simple before continuing on to the upside, just like it did right here and then continued, right? So let's go ahead and move on now to the 12-hour and see what it's got for us. The 12-hour looks like it's losing a little bit of that bull steam. It's no problem. We've already moved about 10% to the upside, so it does have to take a little bit of a breather. Please notice that we're literally chopping around, so it is going to chop, right, so that we can recover. So let's now reference the buy daily since we already saw the daily, okay? The buy daily is making a nice cross above that 14-day simple, but suggesting some consolidation as well. Okay, let's see. Consolidation on the 3-day and on the 5-day. So there is still some setup to be looked at for this. The upside move is not imminent. I'm talking about this being a statistical upside based on no news, based on no fundamental metrics. I'm talking about just volatility versus momentum. And this is the type of play that you would likely get in the news saying, oh, such and such ticker moving on no news. Well, it's not exactly no news to the systematic traders and technical traders, right? It was actually more of a statistical move than it was a fundamental move, right? Weston Harris, how you doing, man? Any chance for CLNV tonight? I will put it on the list, my dude. I will actually have to be honest with you. I have a huge list already. I'm not sure that I'll be able to get to it, but I am planning on covering it tomorrow alongside COSM as well, okay? So I'll go ahead and list it right on here anyway, okay, you guys? So let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here on BRLL and just look at the potentials here. Let's look at the moving averages right now. Let's load them up and see what we got. Okay. So on the 12-hour time frame, it looks like we've already converted that SMA 10, which is usually the one that we follow to the upside, right? Like this here. So we've already converted it, and it looks like we faced that support from it today. Very nice. We still have to combat that 50-day simple moving average, which could essentially be the reason why we're facing a little bit of consolidation. So meaning we're going to make that upside continuation meet at about 16-17% of the 112, followed by a continuation to test our current highs at about 517 before a continuation on to the upside. Okay, so this is, in essence, I'm telling you that this would be caught, I don't want to say early, but I want to say that there is a potential for that upside. We have to make sure to practice risk management with this type of thing, but it's statistically backed and the odds are good. But please remember that when you're looking at statistics, they're not certainties. And also the fact that we only have, let's go ahead and refer back to the statistical side of the analysis right over here. Usually when you have iterations landing in just about 16 iterations, you wouldn't bet, heavy portfolio on this. This is something that's a statistical play that you can actually bet. Maybe. Say for example me. Just take for example me. Okay, so if I get a B+ trade or an A- trade, I'm looking at about 75 or 65% portfolio, right? But it has to line up. In this case, it is lining up very nicely. I'm compelled by the 75% accuracy, right, based on the statistical back test. And I'm also compelled by the 112% move to the upside, of which is averaged. So that's it's nice. I like it. And it's very short-term swing. So you're looking at this being fulfilled within 8 days, right? So or just close to 9 days. So in this case, I probably wouldn't bet like 65 or 75% portfolio. In fact, I would probably go around 20 or 15%. Because this is going to be a safe bet and a huge bet, right? Let's go ahead and look at the market cap on this and just get an overall feel for it, right? So market cap is landing. We don't even see the float on this. Mark Roach, are you able to see the float by any chance, or did you already put it up? My apologies for not being able to see that. So the market cap is sitting at a tiny 1.3 mil, which would actually line up with the move being so fast, which honestly, in all reality, this can actually live out a lot faster than 8 days. So, and it looks like it has had thrust to do that type of move too. In other words, what it's doing here is just similar to GTII. We're looking at that and AMC and GNS and a whole bunch of tickers, making that series of higher highs, higher lows, and literally chopping up and down this thing. So the next chop is just, let me just go ahead and block the visibility here. And remember, the next chop is literally landing right above the high, okay? It's landing at 1032, just above here. Remember that yellow line, okay? It's going to go away right now, so just look at it, all right? Just go ahead and see that it's landing right up here, which is kind of in accordance with what's happening, right? So it looks like it's literally telling us that it's doing that movement and continuing it on. So this is the reason why I wanted to bring it up to you guys. It's not a fundamental play. This is absolutely not something that is going to be based on sentiment. It's based on professional tactic. So this is quite... Somebody actually once asked me how, like, when you start putting out the plays, like the ones that you look at, things are going to look good, right? So I'm like, not necessarily. The plays that I look at are not based on psychological events. They're based on statistical events. So this could, okay, Mark Roach, thank you. 296 million. Wow. Very interesting. Tiny float with a very comfortable, I'm sorry, tiny cap with a very comfortable float. Interesting. And it hasn't been diluted. Wow, for it to have that much. Yeah, it hasn't even reverse split or nothing. I don't even see a damn earnings report on this. All right, so yeah, like I said again, you guys, this is just a weird play. I'm not sure why this person brought it up, but it was already a play that we were looking at before, and also moderator Cal was also trading it, right? So chat, let's go ahead and dive in. And now that you know the details, let's rate the trade. What are we doing this? D minus, max loss, D plus is going to be your break even. Okay, you guys, what are we rating this? Yeah, remember what we just talked about, right? Of the portfolio size bets based on everything lining up versus not. Okay, so if Sebastian Lim giving this a C plus, T Wood giving this a B minus, Indra H giving it a C, Mark Roach giving it a C. Good stuff, you guys. Very, very good. So because I don't like the float, right? So I'm sorry. Because I don't like the cap. It's a nice float, right? But I don't like the cap. It doesn't really match up. The statistics are pretty nice as well. I just think it's a high risk play. So remember, it doesn't have to be my rating. Just please take it with a grain of salt and go ahead and apply it to your strategy. But in all honesty, I think I'm going to give this a C plus because the statistics are literally saying that we can have that option into moving to the upside. If that is the case, then I personally would just play this with a tight stop. Like I told you guys, it's a max 4% loss on a day before I suspend myself for the day and recalculate, recollect, and start to see why that happened, and then everything else will move on. Joe H giving it a C as well. So in other words, I think the C plus is pretty good for this. And there is a comfortable movement on this stock. It doesn't have the volatility that things like, like GTII is facing, or AMC with the pump to the upside that it got, right? Like this huge price action that you just looked at today was just explosive, right? I mean, even if we were looking at it based on this support, this upside is not something that BRLL is quite capable of, or may not be introduced quite yet, right? So the fact that it's a little bit of a slower mover, slowly but surely type of saying, right? That actually brings my attention into it, as there is more statistic than there is that unmeasurable psychological component, right? Because we don't have any indicators to measure that. But of course, your boy is already working on that indicator as we speak. So go ahead and like the video if you haven't done so already. Make sure to hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel and refer to the links in the description below, and everything will be good. Okay, so we got another C minus rating here from Nick. Thank you so much, Nick. Very, very good. So Weston saying, no worries if you can. I know you have a lot on your plate. Thanks for all you do, Arca. Weston, thank you so much for your support, my dude. And I honestly, I love that you always write, and I hate that I can't always reply, right? I just get distracted by other comments and things coming in all the time, right? But Chris Brown, what are you saying over here? Some say that GTII squeeze before April. What are your thoughts, guys? So everybody, go ahead and refer to that comment. What do you guys think? Are we going to be squeezing GTII before April? And what is that move? If you haven't seen the video for GTII, it's very interesting here that I actually ended up getting that. I mean, look, I mean, this is the price objective, right, that we were looking at. And it's very interesting that we're moving in that direction. We actually, somebody said it would be, somebody said on Twitter, I forgot what he said. He said, let's see. He said, Arca is the GOAT if this thing bounces off that 164 or 163 or whatever. So it actually ended up bouncing off the 160. You can see the tiny little numbers right over here. It actually bounced off 160. I missed it, you guys. So definitely do not take this as financial advice. As you can see, you will lose money right there. All right, guys, be very careful in the markets. Do not take into consideration speaking to the Arca imposters in the comments below, and make sure to hit that like button in this video. All right, let's go ahead and end the analysis now for that ticker and continue on the next one. So the rating that we gave BRLL was that C+. Very, very good stuff. And let me see here. All right. So let's go ahead and now continue on to ticker symbol MARA. Okay, you guys. So that's another Bitcoin miner. And this is, I mean, I've been covering it for some time now. And I like the fact that Bitcoin is actually pumping to the upside, which makes a lot of sense, right? It makes a lot of sense to go long these types of tickers right now. So let's see what it's got for us, though, as we were already talking about the potential of breaking out on that true test number 4 of this broadening descending wedge. Okay, so very interesting price action here. As you can see, we've been respecting every measurable move. Also, take a look at the hammer candle right over here, which was printed just yesterday. Okay, we started the new 5-day iteration right over here. It in fact starts in 7 days, right? Because it's don't ask why. It's just this is the 5-day iteration. It's 7. Okay, so just take it with a grain of salt and make sure to just move along without any weird things here. TradingView just does its thing and whatever, right? So please notice that on the 5-day we printed this hammer candle, and this is now starting, guys. When we're looking at 5-day candles, I say this all the time. 5 days, okay? This is usually where candle analysis tends to kind of play out. All right, so we have a huge hammer candle after a downtrend. Of course, we're going to look at that upside. Please notice the huge 5-day iteration here, as this is literally, if this was a little higher, then it would be considered that evening star, right? But this is a hammer candle printed at an uptrend. Of course, we're going to face a downside. All right, you guys. So this is this is still suggesting an upside continuation. Let's make sure to look at the shorter term time frame analysis as well. Let's start off with momentum on the 30-minute immediate short term and see what it's got. Okay, so we can see a little bit of resistance in the immediate short term from this 14-day simple, but it's okay. Guys, remember that this is in overbought percentile. We actually need to make sure to give it a breath, let it reaccumulate, and then continue on to the upside. Also, remember that this is not trading right now, and Bitcoin is making momentous moves as we speak, right? So it actually moved from about 21 something last night to 25 today. So $4,000 move to the upside. Of course, things gotta take a break. Okay, you guys. WULF is also a Bitcoin miner, and we're gonna be looking at that next. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and now continue on the analysis by hourly here. Okay, so. Wow. Look at that. How many times ever do you just get to see straight green like that, right? And not giving up either. So let's see the RSI. It looks like it wanted to pull just a little bit back, but still suggesting an upside. Historically speaking, we still have other iterations where we have reached even higher. For example, here, let's see, November 2020, we actually went up to about 88.98%, of which we're landing at about 80%. So this thing still has some upside to consider before it actually pulls back. I would have to actually take a look at Bitcoin to see what it's doing, because there may be a gap up regarding Bitcoin CME, right? So futures, Bitcoin futures versus spot price action. There may be a gap up from the price action from where it closed, that traditional market close, versus the price action that's happening throughout the 24-hour period of spot price action, right? And tomorrow's traditional market open. So that gap up may actually present a type of FOMO event as well. Okay, so please remember that PPI data is being released tomorrow, so that's likely going to play some impact into the markets. It's not as big as the CPI reporting, but producer price index is actually something that we still have to kind of look out for, right? Keep it in your radars. Just make sure to protect your longs in case of anything, but everything is looking good and it actually may still continue on to that upside. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the 6-hour time frame and see what it's got. Okay, you guys, so the 6-hour looks like it's trying to retrace a little bit, but please always mind the positioning of your RSI signal as it is right inside of that gravitational pull from the bull strength percentile. Okay, so now that we're in the bullish control zone here, we can expect a pull and a continuation onto the upside, technically speaking, right? So let's go ahead and now move on to the 12-hour. Same situation on the 12-hour here, except that we're not in that gravitational zone. We are also not in the danger zone here to face that downside. Still suggesting an upside. Please notice the last tiny little pivot we had here continued onto the upside. Very similar here. Okay, in fact, this pivot was suggesting more consolidation than not, and this one is still pivoted more towards that upside and favoring the bulls. Daily time frame suggesting huge upside and already in that gravitational zone. Essentially, we're definitely going to get pulled in there, right? So the buy daily is suggesting, wow, look at this. It's crossing the 14-day simple moving average. Very important cross on the buy daily. The buy daily candle is going to end in 14 hours, 49 minutes. By the end of the trading session tomorrow, this would be the validator for the continuation to the upside. If I'm looking at targets now, I'm looking at the $9 zone, just like I said before, and the $10 zone, okay, 10.01 to be exact. This is looking pretty nice. We have to rely on the price movement of Bitcoin nonetheless, okay? As we start getting into the larger time frames, you're starting to see this looking like a bull flag, right? So another formation that I hate calling out has a terrible hit rate, but in this case, it may be appropriate to say it, right? Whatever. But we do have that 3-day signal line right here, finding that support from that 14-day simple and continuing on to the upside. Even the 5-day, look at this. We still have upside continuation for this asset in general, which is absolutely in accordance to making a macro reversal from a formation like this on a 5-day. Okay, so this is literally suggesting a macro reversal. So the take profit for this formation, please remember, per the trading book rules, I'm not talking about anything else. I'm not saying that we're going to go there. I'm just saying that per the trading book rules, per the playbook rules, you're looking at a take profit of about 41.33, and we're sitting at 7.95. Okay, so please rest assured that right now is a point to where Bitcoin may actually retrace, reaccumulate, and then continue on to the upside. Okay, so regardless of what the indicators are saying here, we may actually face a little bit of a downside if Bitcoin and sentiment do decide to make that as such, okay? And then we can continue up, okay? So everything is looking very, very, very good here. And I still expect the short-term targets to land at about that 896 to 998, which is very similar to the targets that we were looking at about 1001, okay? This is good stuff for Mara. Love it. I love it. I love it. Let's go ahead and end. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and now rate the trade. Chat, go ahead and dive in. What are we rating the trade? Please remember, Bitcoin reliance here. We are looking at the potential of a continuation to the upside in the macro perspective. We're good CPI. We don't know what PPI is going to be yet, right? But we're moving okay. Mark Roach giving it a B. Sebastian Lim giving it a B+. Indra H giving it a C+. Nice. I like it. T Wood giving this a C+. I like it, you guys. I'm feeling it. I really do like that you guys are so in tune with the trade. Joe H giving this a B. Samantha H giving this a B+. Tamir, I have Bitcoin miners collecting dust. Oh man, it may be that pivotal point right now, right? Alex, you're giving it a B. Nice. Tamir giving it a B as well. Okay, so you can see where the sentiment is, guys. Nick giving this a B. So Sean Cervantes giving this a C because of Bitcoin. That was actually something that I was about to say. I was very happy that T Wood and Indra rated this a C+, as well as you, Sean. And I was very happy to see that, is because you guys know that this is reliant on BTC. So if you're not charting BTC and if you're not keeping an eye on that, then it would be a blind trade for you to consider entry on any miner. So I love that you guys did that. Very, very, very intuitive and very smart. Okay, you guys. So if you guys are Bitcoin bullish, if you guys are crypto bullish, actually, if you're broader market bullish right now, then you are probably in the right. Okay, so in my case, I'm going to go ahead and still honor the longs B minus right over here. I still like the play, but remember that we're facing some PPI data release. We're still looking for some things over here. Hound is saying maybe I'm wrong, but I can't bring myself to be bullish on anything crypto until BTC holds above the weekly 200 SMA. That is absolutely a very, very intelligent observation. So we're going to go ahead and just start a quick chart here, brand new one, and refer to Bitcoin, right? So let's go ahead and see what we have. And we're actually going to do it on Bitcoin CME, as this is the more credible chart to actually keep into consideration, okay? So in this case, we're going to go ahead and load up the SMA 200 on the weekly, okay? So let's look at what we're doing right now. We are facing, oh, wait. Oh my goodness. The 200 SMA is actually making a cross above the 50. Oh, what in the, hold on. And now let me load up something else. Okay, so let's see. I need to load up another moving average because there's something interesting happening here. Happening. Okay, we have an EMA, and let me do that 51 simple. If you guys remember, right? So SMA 1 is going to be our 55, I believe. Yes, and then the EMA is going to be our 21. Okay, so, and now let's block the visibility from everything else and take a look at what's happening here. Okay, so on a weekly, but let me look at the 5-day and also the daily. Okay, so wow. This is interesting here. So on the daily, we're actually crossing the SMA 200 over the exponential moving, I'm sorry, the 55 SMA over the 21 EMA. So this is nice. And actually this is very much in respects and probably will continue on that upside. Let's take a look. So take a look over here. So we crossed the moving average, right? And it actually continued on to the downside. As soon as we crossed it, we actually got that bottom and continued on, right? And then it also tested it and it continued on to the upside. So historically speaking, I think this is called a silver cross, maybe. I'm not too familiar, but we did get that cross right over here as well, and then price action ended up following it all the way. So I'm talking about the 21 exponential crossing, the 55 simple. Okay, so this is very, very, very interesting and actually pretty bullish. But let's go ahead and go back and reference the SMA 200 like we were on the weekly chart. But please notice that we are at that resistance. Okay, let's see. 24,000. Wow. Man, okay. So 24,800 is what we're looking at right now. We're right at the resistance of that 200 200 SMA on the weekly. So, oh my goodness. So actually there may be a macro move in preparation here. Okay, so let me just create a new chart and just look at just randomly what Bitcoin is doing on spot price action. Anything can do. Let's see, let me just do it on not traditional markets. It's going to be on crypto, and let's do it. Yeah, sure. Let's do it on Tether, whatever. And take a look right over here. We are at 24,696. Yeah. So we're holding the resistance right now of that, we're holding the resistance of that 200 SMA on futures. Okay, so this is very, very bullish. Okay, so this could essentially be what people would consider a very aggressive entry. Be very, very, very careful, super careful about this. Okay, so but yeah, this is aggressive. This is very aggressive, and not to mention this huge validation of a candle, weekly candle, going to be done in 1 day and 16 hours. Oh my goodness, wow, guys, if we close a weekly candle above, man, no way. Are you serious? If we close a weekly candle above 23,100 or 23,155, we're at 24.8. this is a validator for a continuation to the way up. And I mean, in respects to a weekly candle closure here, this is crazy. And the epitome of a bull flag. Almost a bullish engulfing. So I mean, it could be still considered it because we have the wick down here, right? But we definitely want the body down here. But still very much a huge candle closure. Let's look at the bi-weekly 8 days closing, and let's see 12-day, and also let me look at the quarterly chart and see what's going on. Wow, yeah. It's looking like it's actually prepping for that move, guys. Interesting stuff. All right, so let's just go ahead and finish off the ticker symbol MERA/BTC. All right, and continue on the analysis. So we actually gave this a good rating, right? So we're looking at a B- trade right here, in my personal opinion. Please remember, guys, it doesn't have to be my rating. Please take it with a grain of salt and apply it to your strategy, and everything will be chilling, okay? So let's go ahead and make sure that I have that B- rating for the timestamps or whatever later, and move on to ticker symbol WULF and see what it's got, as I do expect this one to also be continuing on that upside. Tamir Mori, go ahead and send me a DM, and I will go ahead and hopefully tonight, right? Still have a lot of things to review here, but I would like for you to just send me a DM and with your request, or put it in actually, you know what, better yet, if you are a Discord member, put it in the ticker picker, because that's where I go to find the tickers that you guys want to look at. Hexes and T-Wood and Hound, and I believe a few other people were putting their tickers there as well. Okay, so we're still going to be looking at those tickers as well. So let's go ahead and just move on to ticker symbol Wolf and start making some moves over here, because man, everything is looking very good. Tamir Mori, you got it, boss. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you. Adrian, how you doing, man? What's up, Arca? Could we look into OCUL? So like I've said to everybody on the stream, I actually have a huge schedule, right? So we're going to go ahead and make sure to list it on this anyway, okay? But if I can't get to it, please do not take it as me trying to ignore you. It is just that time is running incredibly against all of us, right? So we're going to go ahead and just list it on the list anyway, okay? So OCUL. Very good stuff. Thank you, Adrian. Really appreciate you for stopping by nonetheless. David Parr, good to see you, man. I'm actually in popular requests. Oh, guys, did anybody notice? David, real quick. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to cover it tonight, but I am going to put it here no matter what. Okay, so David, and let's see. Let me put it here for CRTD. But per request, I'm actually going to be covering CRTD 2 alongside GTII. Okay, so I wanted to ask anybody. Okay, Mark Roach. I'm sorry. Real quick, guys, did anybody notice that Avid Trader got permanently suspended from Twitter? It's that's terrible. Actually, I spoke to him today, actually, and you know, we were I know he still got his YouTube and everything, right? But we were planning a collaboration of some sort, and you know, to try to do something for CRTD or for GTII. And very interesting too that today was the first time that Ham Short Killer actually ended up mentioning me in Twitter as well. Samantha, someone actually told me, and actually the person that I guess his name was, I forgot his name. He said that he was the one who kind of talked about the collaboration between Arca Bulls and Avid. And he spoke to you on the live chat, he said. So that person apparently is a very good friend in person with Avid. So he actually wanted this to happen alongside you. So he said, he told me on a DM, I spoke to your moderator, Samantha, and I told her that it would be awesome if maybe Arca Bulls and Avid could do a collaboration of some sort. So he said to me that the suspension for Avid Trader is permanent. And that's really unfortunate because he has almost 10,000 followers in his Twitter, if I remember correctly, right? So, I mean, I would be pretty upset even now that, I mean, I just broke 3,000 recently, right? But I would still be upset. So, Indra, I'm getting a lot of speculation regarding that, right? So I actually spoke to Frank Benedetto, if you guys are familiar with him. So I spoke to him and I said, "Hey, dude, so what's going on with Avid with that suspension?" So he said, "Yeah, Sebastian, literally that." So he said it's just the Kramers, are going after this and going after that. So if he's going after the Kramers, then he's dealing with some pretty heavy hitters, right? So I actually, guys, to be very honest, and I don't want anybody. Yeah, KYP, very horrible for him. So I don't want anybody to kind of rebel or whatever, right, you guys? So I'm not happy that they did that to him. I like that he's helping out retail and doing his thing, right? So in fact, he's even still with 10,000 followers, he's kind of a small fish, like I'm even smaller, so why go against someone like him? I don't think he was. I don't think he's I don't think he would be like the best person to go after. I'm not saying that there's someone better. I'm just saying that it's there's no real need for that, and it kind of sucks. So I did speak to him today. We were going to try to make some type of collaboration. I'm sure I can still reach him on his email or something, right? But yeah, I wanted to know if anybody else knew other information regarding that, right? So. Yeah, so we need to lay low and let that mess play out. So I don't think that's actually going to happen, David. In fact, I think this is going to spark retail a little stronger too. And I mean, I found something on the daily time frame of GTII that's actually loading a huge volatility run again. So, and this is in a different time frame than what I've been talking about, because I've been talking about the 3-day and the 5-day. So in this case, I don't know. There could be something lining up, statistically speaking, versus fundamentally. Guys, what I was going to say is don't try to elaborate on what those issues are to me, okay? Because remember, I do not practice fundamental analysis whatsoever, okay? So I don't know. I don't even know who the Kramers are, okay? So and everybody in the space call that I was just talking to, they were saying how accurate I was being with the price action. Guys, that's not. It's just because I practice mathematical models. It's just, that's it. Okay, so I also don't want to put anybody here in danger, and I don't want to also be in danger into getting this canceled. In fact, this is actually helping my family out a lot. So I don't know. I don't know who the Kramers are. I don't know none of that stuff. So. I'm just going to continue doing me, right? And it just so happens that GTII is making some pretty gnarly upside probabilities right now, so which is going against whoever may not want that to happen, right? So whatever, right? So Cal L saying, not here for all the other noise, here for the Arca style analysis. That's absolutely right. Samantha H saying, don't worry about them. Sebastian Lim, interestingly, CRTD has been going the opposite direction. I've noticed that there has been a little bit of an inverse correlation in the shorter term timeframes, right? So I think we're going to have to actually analyze the larger term timeframes in comparison to each other rather than the day-to-day price action, because there may be correlation in the larger time frame rather than the short term. T Wood, silencing voices can backfire. That's exactly what I'm saying. And yeah. So everything was leading to a pretty good thing today, between the Arca Bulls family and Avid, right? So, and also Ham, like I said, he mentioned me too. I was like, man, that's great. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. That's what I keep hearing, Alex. I keep hearing that Avid is an honest guy, and he actually pointed that out. He said he loves the energy from me and stuff, so he would like to collab and see what's the deal, right? So I don't know, but regardless of the fact, guys, I just wanted to pay respects to the man himself. And if you are not if you're not familiar with Avid Trader, please go ahead and send him a subscribe. Make sure to say hello to him. You don't have to tell him that I sent you guys. Just go ahead and support his channel. He's a very smart dude, a great trader, absolutely smart with his charting analysis. And I think he's more towards the side of discretionary trading, which is literally what I'm showing you right now. So yeah, just please say hi to him, show support to his YouTube channel, Avid Trader. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and now officially start the analysis for ticker symbol WULF. And again, this is another Bitcoin miner. So thank you, Mark. Just know for a fact that this actually has, again, the same feeling that Mara has, although this one actually did report some type of overreaction from the sentiment. I forgot actually what was that fundamental metric that they released, but it did capitulate the price, right? As there was just literally any reason to be found to short this thing. But shorting this thing actually may not have been the best move for the short sellers, as Bitcoin is now making momentous moves to the upside. In doing so, this actually can pressure or continually pressure not only the institutional short positions, but also retail short positions, right? So you're looking at it's still increased in the after hours trading actually to 65.29 in comparison to the market close of about 65. So this is still looking absolutely bullish. And let's go ahead and load up now momentum. Okay, so let's see the immediate short-term time frame is suggesting, wow, it's suggesting an upside landing right at the junction between the bull weakness and the bull strength. We actually got that bounce from the 14-day simple, validating it as a good area of support, right? So yeah, this is looking good. Let's go to the buy hourly and see what it's got. So buy hourly suggesting an aggressive upside as well in the junction between the bear weakness and the bull weakness, and also in that gravitational zone. So this is, yeah, this is still suggesting upside. Let's see the 6 hour, very much that upside suggestion. Let's see the 12 hour. 12 hour looks to have a little bit of resistance, which could honestly be, I can actually just see that real fast here since we are in the 12 hour. I'm going to take the, let me first of all delete this one because I don't want to confuse anybody, right? So we still have relevant targets based on that fib, but it's okay. We're going to take a fib from that previous day wick. I'm sorry. Yeah, it could be the previous day. Let's see. Yeah, so the previous day wick high to the wick low. And the probable targets, I was going to tell you the most obvious area would be literally at this resistance landing right at that one spot 618 at 69.37. So if we're going to move just a little bit higher, we can find some resistance at about 70 cents, 70.17 to be exact, before coming back down and testing our current highs or the one spot 272 at 66.71 as a valid area of support before continuing on to that upside. Okay, there's no validation to tell me that there is a downside, so we're just going to have to go ahead and see. The daily is suggesting a limited upside as well. If we're considering the daily to have resistance here, it may very well line up with that 70-cent zone as well. Okay, so let's look at the buy daily. Buy daily, okay, so this zone now, what we're looking at here at 47.77, I'm talking about percentile, right? Getting close to that gravitational zone, this would be in line with the 2 spot 618 at 77 cents. And if I can give you the other resistance, was this one here. This is absolutely valid still. Okay, so we're looking at a resistance of 81.21 to 77.05. Okay, this is a new fib, and please notice that the 77.05 zone is still landing right in the resistance that or support that we were already looking at from before between the 1 spot 272 right here and the 1 spot 618 at 81 cents. You see that? Very much in line with our 2 spot 618 and 3 spot 72. Okay, so just know that this is actually it's definitely playing market geometry, and it's actually playing by the rules nicely. Take a look at this bearish engulfing right here on the 2-day iteration. It's actually fulfilled to the downside. Very nice, very nice, very nice. It's following the rules, okay? But it still doesn't mean that there isn't any manipulation or any type of, fuckery happening here. But just know for a fact that this actually is playing some nice price action, and it's respecting the trading rules, okay? So now the last thing we're going to look at is the 3-day and the 5-day. It looks just to be a little consolidation period for that, so which is honestly something that we should consider after moving, a pretty good upside here. Okay, so yeah, overall, in a few days, I'm definitely looking at that target of about 77.05 to about 81 cents. I'm talking about maybe, in respects to the daily time frame, I would say a week or two, or even less. Okay, because that depends on the volatility of BTC as well. Okay, you guys, so definitely know that we're still looking at BTC price action continuing on to the upside, and in fact, it has moved on to the upside since we last looked at it. It was a 24,600. Now it's at 24,700. So there is fluctuation and resistance from that 5-day or weekly, 200 SMA that Hound brought up earlier. Very good stuff. Okay, you guys. So that is going to do it Actually, you know what? Well, you know what, guys? This one, remember, it had that weird little situation that happened with the fundamentals, right? They released something that was actually bullish, and they shorted it for no reason. Earnings, this thing has earnings coming up, and let's see when that is. That's going to be Friday, February 17th. Man, that is close by. And if we're looking at previous earnings, we've had 2 prior misses, and every other earning, literally every other earnings, were actually to the expectations. So in reference to the, to the bear markets, of course, we had and one in between that was to the expectations. So we've had only 2 historically missing here. So this one plays a little bit of fundamental and also plays the metrics of mathematical probabilities as well. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because now, chat, let's go ahead and dive in and rate it. Let's rate this for the longs, because I am expecting an upside for this. I can't actually say that there is a pullback anywhere, because starting from the 5-minute, it's an upside, right? And as you can see, that upside was continuing on nonetheless all the way up to the freaking 3-day. So there's still upside, still, man, for WULF. Very, very interesting price action here. And all right, so Sebastian Lim giving this a B- already. Mark Roach giving it C. All right, very nice, very nice. Remember, guys, so T Wood is saying C+. Remember, we have to rate this according to the fact that we are reliant on Bitcoin as well as fundamental metrics, okay? So if I'm going to go ahead and rate this and give you guys my own opinion, let's go ahead and put it right up here. Okay, so long rating for ticker symbol WULF, I'm going to go ahead and just give this one a C+, okay? It's still moving to the upside, but remember, a little reliance on some overall sentiment, okay? So this one's a little compromised because of because of company news that literally had nothing to do with bearishness, okay? So I heard that it was that, and don't take my word for that, okay? The fundamentals were actually allegedly, they were supposed to be bullish, okay? So the fact that it sold off, have no idea why it did that, okay? It just seems like whale games at this point. So, yeah, that is going to do it for ticker symbol WULF, and we're going to go ahead and make sure to leave that long rating on here for when we add the information later on. And that was a C+. Good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker. So that next ticker is going to be TRKA. Oh my goodness, these stupid sound tricks. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just mad bored over here. Oh God, let me get some freaking water. All right. So 10:37 p.m. Thank you so much, Mark Roach. All right, so let's see. TRKA, did we already have it loaded? I think I actually did. Please. Man, missing the boat. Okay, so TRKA, and I already have, which one was the last one we looked at? This one here would be good. Mark Roach saying, Arca has had coffee or Red, my dude. No, I cannot have Red Bull or coffee or Bang or any of that stuff, because my acidity, my acid reflux, that would annihilate me. I can't. It would have to be just Prilosec binge, okay? So I cannot have that. Actually, what I did do is eat before this, because Cal-El has been on me about having electrolytes before starting these live streams, because I'm apparently killing myself. Cal-El, thank you so much, my buddy. I love you. So, all right, so, and then also, Samantha told me go back to sleep this morning, so I went back to sleep, and I got some more rest, and I feel like I definitely did good. In fact, I actually got maybe another 15 minutes before I continued working. Oh, that was a lot to say. All right, so anyway, let's go ahead and continue on with TRKA here. So the upside targets that we were looking at were absolutely met, right, and closed within the range. Nice. But what is that suggesting for us? And are we going to continue to the upside or to the downside? Well, let's reference the moving averages and see what we have done on the daily. Okay, this is very cool. Okay, you guys check this out. We have now converted into support both of the SMA 10 and the SMA 100, which is absolutely good, okay, because this means that we now have two areas of relevant support and also the cross between the SMA 10 and that SMA 100. Very cool stuff. Very good and very bullish for the asset, okay? Not to mention for the fact that it's already been making this higher high, higher low structure, right? So it's still moving on that path, and I do like it. In fact, this is something that we talked about a few times, right? Lots of people requesting this ticker. Look at this daily price action here, you guys. This is that hammer at the bottom of a downtrend, right? And then the continuation onto the upside. So when you're looking at a hammer print on a daily, maybe even a 12-hour, okay, I would say the minimum an 8-hour, okay? So the daily is nice. It's actually my minimum. So this is literally the epitome of a reversal formation, okay? So you would need to validate this alongside RSI or whatever other, tactics you have and stuff, or methods or strategies. So this is literally the epitome of a bullish hammer at the bottom of a trend, continuing on that upside, okay? Andrew, I will absolutely do that for you, man. Let me go ahead and just put it in right now. And you're looking at ATVI, of course. So it is on the list, and just rest assured that I definitely owe it, okay? So let's go ahead and continue on with the analysis here. We're going to start off with the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame and see if we do have an upside continuation for this, okay? So in the short term, it's slightly bullish and slightly consolidate. Yeah, it looks like we're going to consolidate for a little bit, but remember, it's the 30-minute. This is likely to live out pretty fast. And it's also in respects to what happened in the after hours, okay? We literally didn't have any volume in this at all. And very cool thing here is that we're starting to make that uplift on the 30-minute SMA 10, which would essentially continue that upside that upside trajectory, right? Very cool stuff. Let's go to the buy hourly and see what it's got for us. Okay, so the buy hourly is suggesting a little bit of a pullback, but please bear in mind the position of your RSI signal here landing right inside of that gravitational pull of the bull weakness percentile. That's likely to have us continue on to the upside. So let's see. And aside from that, we have already a support that we've converted into a support on the buy hourly. So that's good too. Let's see. This area here, it's so weird. These two candles right up here, it almost looks entirely empty. So we have a weird gap here, and that's why we face the resistance today. So remember when I tell you guys to keep those gaps in play for future play, right? So we're looking at this gap right over here on the buy hourly. And this is the resistance touch here. My goodness, we're knocking at the door of this thing. We're trying to get through. All right, good stuff. So, and I'm surprised I didn't catch it the last time, but it's just buy hourly. This is so tiny. All right, so let's go ahead and now continue on to the 6 hour here. And take a look. You see, you can't even see it on the 6 hour, of course. We have a little bit of consolidation here. We're getting a little hint from that 14-day simple suggesting an upside continuation. So that's still looking not bad at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the 12 hour. The 12 hour is suggesting a little bit of downside as well, but please notice that we're still in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile. So this is likely to give us consolidation as well. After a move to the upside like we faced here, it's only natural for us to start consolidating and validating some support so that we can continue on to that upside. Guys, so I want chat. Are you, by the way, this is just off topic real quick. Is my volume okay on this, or can it be louder? I want you to go ahead and let me know in the comments below if my volume could be louder, because I'm not actually sure how this has been moving, right? I'm not sure how I've been in comparison to the other live. The volume is all right. All right. Neat. Did you see what Cal L just said? It needs more echo. It needs more echo. Oh, man. And cowbells too, apparently. So it needs more echo and more and more and more and more. All right, you guys, let's stop messing around and continue on the damn analysis so we can make some freaking money. Shut up, Arca. All right, so, all right, anyway, so yes, we are still looking at a little bit of consolidation here on the 12-hour. Guys, my goodness, I'm sorry, I'm so giddy. This is actually naturally me. This is really how I am. Okay, I always get distracted like super crazy and then continue on a binge of something. So use that for A+ announcement, T Wood says. Okay, take a look at the daily RSI here. Don't tell me that, man. I'm going to have to start just playing around now. I've actually lost 7 viewers in doing this crap. Anyway, you mean like herp and derp? Anyway, you guys, so now we look at this, okay? I want you to notice how the RSI signal is pressuring that 14-day simple moving average to the upside, okay, you guys? So this usually means that the upside may be imminent, okay? So this is very interesting here. We're pressuring it and about to cross it. So I love it, I love it, I love it. Let's go to the buy daily and see what we have. Herp and derp is actually something that I took from freaking Crown. Eric Crown, that guy, I started dying when he said inverse herp and derp, and I'm like, dude, I am forever gonna call it that. I will never call it the right name. So it's always been a kerp and derp. It's been a herp and derp. It's been it's just because they're silly formations, you know. And I totally know. All right, so the real price action for TRKA looks like it's gonna be coming in on the buy daily. My goodness, look at this buy daily iteration here. We are getting so close to that the gravitational zone, sorry, of the bull weakness percentile, suggesting a continuation. My goodness, man, the goofiness is full swing, guys. You never want me to have energy because this is what happens. See? All right, so let's go ahead and see the 3-day time frame. The 3-day, guys, TRKA is still on an ascent. Oh my goodness. Look at the 5-day, literally moving outside of the gravitational zone from that from the bear weakness percentile. This is absolutely good stuff. All right. So there could be an accumulation period for the immediate short term, like we said, right? So if there's going to be any area of a downturn, it actually may be on the buy hourly, if anything. Oh my goodness, man. So yeah, maybe the 4-hour as well. Not even the 6-hour. No. Okay. So it's going to be during the earlier part of the day tomorrow-ish. And this for a loading, right? And then this thing can continue and rip onto the upside. So if we're looking at some short-term targets, oh my goodness. The SMA 10, let me load up actually the EMAs and see if there's anything there for us. That's so close together. Okay. So yeah, I would say best case scenario between 2311 and about 2278. Let me make a box for future reference, right? So right about here to that SMA 7. And in fact, the SMA 7 may move a little bit higher even still. So actually corrected 2329 to 2270 could be the best case scenario for reloading. And then this can actually continue on to the upside for, I would say after maybe tomorrow. I think the upside continuation may be into the mid session of Friday, into potentially the, Tuesday. Oh yeah, that's right. Guys, remember that on Monday is, I think it's President's Day. So the markets are going to be closed. All right, so there's not going to be any herp and derping on Monday. All right, so we're going to have to just herp and derp on crypto if we want to trade anything, because we're a bunch of addicts, right? So do not be an addict for trading. Okay, you guys, do not do that. All right, so yeah, that's essentially what I'm looking at for TRKA. Now, as far as the upside continuation, the massive upside that I'm still looking at, of course, is definitely right up here. But we need to get over this gap from the 2-hour time frame, right? In order for us to continue this weird 2 little candle thing. Let me get rid of the moving averages so you can see those 2 candles there, right? So and this one here. So this actually made a weird gap, and then this is why we're facing all this resistance now. So we need a break through this. So the obvious target would more likely be resistance at about 26 cents And then actually this can continue on to the upside. Wow, 25.99 and 25.94 at that 2 fib. Very cool. And from there, the next resistance, of course, you guys, is going to be between the 27.29 and the 2.618. Lots of chop in here, man, and right within the golden mean. So yeah, the more than likely target for a few days would actually be about 29.01 into next week. And then the overall target, if this continues that bull thrust, remember, I'm still talking about this target. I'm not going to let it go. I think it's 32.25 to 33.97, potentially the end of next week. So I think it's not bad. Arca Live, Laughs, TA, and great community of people. Absolutely, man. This is definitely good company and very much good times, right? All in preparation for our trading day. All right, so we have to actually make the best of it since we are a little limited for next week, right? So it's just going to be tomorrow and Friday, followed by a 3-day long weekend for trading, and then we would continue. Mark Roach saying, I know you don't like, but looks like a cup and handle on. Yeah. Let's see. Well, let me get rid of this thing here, and then you can actually see the inverse herp and derp. So we can put some Heikin-Ashi candles here, and in a very discreet manner, you can actually see left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? So, and this is actually moving on that ascent. And yes, if we were able to see the cup, it would actually be starting from about this area here, the top of the candle, right? I'm sorry, the top of the cup itself, and this would be the top of the handle. So very weird cup, right? But still, it has I guess if you can see both of them, then it may as well be playing two forms of psychological components, which are we would only validate with other means, right? Like the moving average strategies. We can do momentum strategies. We can also see, let's just look at volatility now to see if it's going to continue on to the upside, because the volatility versus momentum would essentially tell us or hint at us some pretty nice potential. So let's go on to the daily and reference this. Okay, so daily is already pivoting to the upside, but is there anything in critical? Wow. As the price action continues on to the upside, this will continue on to full critical contraction, which would then introduce another upside move. Very interesting. So let's see the 3-day. And yeah, this is, I wouldn't say it's a volatility pump on this. I think it's a sentiment based play. Even in the 4-hour, we're still now pivoting to the upside. Yeah, volatility is not exactly it's not playing like a huge component here. Low volatility, very much swinging within the middle of the range of within critical of expansion and contraction. We're just in the middle. There's no pump to the upside that we can look like that, right? Another thing is that this is actually on the 4-hour. You can see this the rising, the ascending broadening wedge here. So and it is playing nicely, and this is an indication. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 tests. We failed it. Bear trap. Wow. Okay, so that means that we can. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So here it is. And also, let me get out of this. I can't deal with these candles. Okay. So yeah. This thing is actually in preparation for a rare breakout, just like the ones we've been looking at in other tickers here. Test 1, 2, and 3 of the resistance capitulation. We have a bear trap here, continued on to the upside, and now have succeeded the inside of the ascending broadening wedge, which would essentially mean that we're going to try and make a 4th test of this, eventually leading to about, yeah, this is absolutely in confluence with the, let's see. Yeah, it has confluence with the 4236 and the 4.618. So essentially about 42 cents into end of next week. Very good stuff. So the previous time we rated this, it was actually a C+. It was a buy rating of C+ to B-, and that could have been somewhere around here, right? So let's go ahead and now rate this again. Chat, let's go ahead and dive in and rate this. Remember, D- would be your max loss, and your D+ would be your break even. Okay, so what are we rating this? D- to A+. And yes, actually, I did kind of see someone refer to the A plus being a very rare thing, absolutely rare. It doesn't happen all the time. In fact, I've had one A plus trade this year. Mark Roach giving it a C plus, Tamir Mori giving it a D, Sebastian Lim buy rating the same, T Wood giving it a C as well. So that's, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie. In respects to Tamir, let's look at some financials here. So you're looking at a market cap of about a tiny 16.2 mil, and the float is a tiny 35.5. Okay, so I mean, it's not necessarily just tiny. It's just, I would rather it be 200, but you know, not everyone has that. Okay, so it's okay. It just is a little bit of a risky play because at any moment, look at the valuation. Okay, we're at 24 cents. At any moment, someone could drop in 20 G's on this thing and it'll actually pump to the upside a good 15 to 20%. In that pump to the upside, you would immediately take profits from a lot of longs. Okay, so this would essentially come right all the way back down, and then creating, you know, in that FOMO event, you're going to say, well, this thing, Arca said is going to go to 42, so screw it. I'm going to enter at 32 anyway. 10 cents up, and then it capitulates, right? So in that area, we don't know. We really don't know. T Wood giving it a C. Tamir saying, I also think there are other plays out there, and with this unattractive one, it may even lose more money because people will go to where there is more money. So that's another smart statement too. You're talking about trend. Okay, so in other words, people usually refer to that as the trend is your friend. So if the kids are sitting in the sandbox and you're alone in the table, you know, why, you know, I as a teacher, I'm going to encourage the child to go and, you know, join the other kids and introduce him to the sandbox and kids. So it is a very smart thing. So the other, I guess the opposition to you, Tamir, in this would be lower volatility and safer upside. So meaning that there won't be so much FOMO, just like I was saying regarding volatility, because it doesn't look like there's a lot of sentiment behind it. So it looks like it's just playing the ranges based on day traders and possible swing traders as well, retail, right? So it could present a safer formula than following the trend as well. It depends on the trader though, because trust me when I say that I have people and friends who only follow high volatility, and it's because they can execute trades fast, right, at actual valuations, so you don't get trapped in the wrong end of a bid and ask spread. So they have fast execution software for it, so they follow trends like you're talking about. Other plays that can actually present huge volatility and get in and out quickly and make the gains and then, you know, call it a day. So there are two ways of looking at that, right? So in this case, I'm actually going to remove the buy rating from this, and we're going to change this in my perspective, right? I still think this is a C plus trade. And now the reason why I'm saying this is because as it goes higher and higher, I mean, mind the position right now. Let's see just how high we're up, right? And I'm talking about from recently. I'm talking about from December 22nd or even in January 9th. Just you know, about 2 months ago or whatever now. So, or a month and a half. Let's look at that valuation now, let's look at that, the pump to the upside. So we're sitting at 134+% right now. And just about a week ago, we were at 188%. Okay. So that's what I'm saying is that whoever was buying down here or down here could take profit at any moment and then, you know, make this thing capitulate. And then this would realize the bearish formation. Remember, a broadening ascending wedge is bearish, but usually, and I'm talking usually, these end up realizing their true nature upon that third test of the resistance. If you're looking at a short position in this, then you would essentially take profit at the genesis of the formation at 1061. But momentum, more than anything, is not suggesting the downside, and this is in fact suggesting a slow upside. So just know that those are the possibilities that can happen with this. Okay, so in my case, for a short-term trader, I think it's a C plus. I wouldn't even gauge like a B because we're not down here anymore, right? So we already got that B. All right, I don't even remember where we were, but it's still, there was a reason why I gave that. So anyway, you guys, that's what I'm looking at for TRKA. Very good, very good, very good. And let's go ahead and just make sure that we do have that rating here of the C+. But please remember, guys, please remember that PPI data is going to be coming in tomorrow. And if we do, if we get a PPI miss, then we might as well just capitulate a little bit before a recovery. That's going to be essentially a kind of a trap, right? So be very, very careful with what we're doing in the markets tomorrow. Okay, you guys. So good stuff for TRKA. Let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker. And that's going to be ticker symbol, let's see, FOXO. All right, guys, I actually have to tell you something very interesting about the Cryptex indicators. Okay, so this is composure. All right, so I want you to notice here a couple things. This is very cool. So yeah, oh, Mark, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, my dude. Always, 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 always on top of the game, right? So let's go ahead and just take a look at this. The blue triangle here. This is a very interesting signal because I've been actually back testing or forward testing it myself without mentioning this particular indicator from the 8 that you would receive, right? So this blue triangle actually signals the cross of a 2-period exponential moving average and an 8-period exponential moving average. So the cross, so meaning that when you get this cross on a tiny time frame, that signals the end or a potential end of a trend, of the current trend. So this was already firing after, I mean, look at this, okay? So it was just down, 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 and it started warning here. The trend is likely ending, but you also did get a bearish diamond suggesting a continuation to the downside. So you're getting the warning saying that the signal is already, or the trend is ending this downtrend, right? So it continued on to the downside. It continued on to the downside, and this printed here again saying this could be the end of that trend. And then you got the buy and you got the long signal, which is the yellow cross. This is the confirmation for the upside incoming. So the indicator was very accurate in this reading here, and it was already warning us before it actually found that bottom. Of course, we have to practice discretion here. You're looking at 61 to 23, right? So it's just a warning. This is not for you to enter long. This is for you to consider the possibility that the trend is coming to an end. Okay, so then this was the confirmation, and then this is the validation for that upside continuation, and it did continue. When you're getting these tiny little red diamonds, it's saying that there is an upside continuation. And please notice how these 6-hour candles, I'm talking 6-hour candles, it's saying, it printed here, it's saying that we're going to continue on to the upside, continue on to the upside, continue on to the upside, continue. And then this one signals the end of the trend right there again. And then we make that downside. I wanted to bring this up for the Cryptex holders because this is very much a very intuitive indicator, and of which one that I've never actually really mentioned because I've been trying to kind of forward test it myself to see what the implications are based on its suggestions, right? So very, very interesting indicator here. All right, so let's go ahead and reference momentum on this, okay? So let's go ahead and just make sure that we do have our, oh yeah, that's right. I just wanted to make this a little bit brighter here because I've been messing around with the RSI settings, right? So here we go, here we go. All right, so starting from the immediate short term on ticker symbol FOXO, we are looking, and it's already, I mean, it's been following our price action, right? So we're suggesting an upside continuation almost immediately on that 30-minute, okay? Let's go to the buy hourly, continue collecting our puzzle pieces here and see what we got, all right? A little bit of consolidation here. Please notice that this is definitely within the gravitational pull zone, okay? So there may still be some downside to consider here, but it's not really favoring it. In fact, it's actually printing some drives of divergence, but I don't like to see them on the 2-hour. I like to see divergent drives on the 8-hour minimum. Okay, so let's go to the 6-hour. 6 hours also printing this very unreliable tiny pivot. You can see here that they sometimes fail, right? So there is a potential for that downside as well. Let's see the 8 hour actually. The 8 hour also presenting one of these tiny little pivots yet again. The 14-day simple still suggesting some downside. Let's see the 12 hour. The 12 hour is now showing that there could be a little bit of loss of strength from those bears. Okay, there's still some downside to take into consideration. Again, it's not so crazy to the downside, if I want to say, if I just want to be as clear as I could be. The daily is actually telling us that there is a little bit of loss in that strength there. I understand that there are these ladders here, right? But we have to monitor this as we move. Bi-daily is fine. Okay, so this is in respects to why we're looking at limited downside in the previous time frames. The bi-daily is actually suggesting a possible finding of support and a floor soon. Okay, so this could actually, it doesn't mean that it can't fail it, right? Look at just like this. It actually failed it and it moved on to the upside. This one came right at it and then moved on. So we're at it again. Okay, so there is the potential that we're actually reaccumulating before a continuation onto the upside. Price action is also suggesting that. If we're going to take a really simple trend line here, it doesn't mean that we're going to favor the trend line. But in fact, if you just kind of connect your dots like this, then you could potentially see where that bottom may be. Maybe at about 60 cents and we're sitting at 65. Right? So now in reference to the 3-day, it looks like we're already finding that weakness from the bears. Okay, so that's also another indication that the floor may be in. Similar thing here on the 5-day, we're actually getting a slightly bullish read on that 14-day simple, and we're getting a little bit of consolidation from the RSI. So yeah, it looks like ticker symbol FOXO is suggesting a potential floor found. So I think that this is getting ready for a move, but I'm not suggesting this to be, or I'm not saying that this is actually going to be something that's going to be super crazy bullish. I'm just saying that it can find a floor soon and then potentially move on to the upside. So in this case, guys, please notice that we did rate this a D before. So what I'm going to do with this one is not rate this one because of the consolidation period that it could face. I don't want any retail to be trapped in this. So we're just going to go ahead and leave this rating as a no rating. Okay, so very interesting actually that this would be the first one that we're suggesting for a no rating throughout the entire day or the entire stream. My apologies. All right, so now let's go ahead and just end the analysis on this one and move on to the next ticker, which is actually going to be ticker symbol BOIL, BOIL, followed by RCRT. All right, actually, I just got a little bit of a weird notification here. Hold on just a sec, you guys, just a quick sec. And let me get rid of this. Awesome. All right. So let me load up that ticker right now. Okay, you guys. So one more thing, guys. Let me just open up the window. It's a little hot in here. Just a quick sec. I get hot, guys. Come on. Dance break. Hold the fort. All right. So very interesting thing here is that I actually have to use headphones in this with this new very old setup, right? Because the interface actually lost all that kinds of power, right? So so this time around is very interesting for me to hear myself through the headphones, as I am very comfortable with, as actually I'm a singer and I've been singing for 14, 15, maybe 16 years now, I think. And this is very familiar to me. So I love the fact that I can hear my voice through the mic. So when I actually came back to the seat and the mute button failed, of course, right? You remember I need to wiggle it. So yeah, that's what I was going to point out here. I actually just heard my voice alone and I was like, wow, I really didn't realize how much I love to hear my voice as I speak, because then I could really tell if I'm being a freaking idiot or not, right? So this is good. Let's go ahead and now look at ticker symbol BOIL. Okay, you guys. So what I want to mention here is that I'm going to start this off again with the ARC series Cripstex indicator. Okay, you guys, I want to show you guys this one, and I'm sure that some of you are already familiar with it. So this is ARC DBSI, and DBSI is actually a statistical indicator that takes a metric of every single candle printed throughout the entire trading history of the asset's time frame. Okay, so, you know, literally doing that, right? So it's a crazy amount of information. So in doing that, it actually gives us a score right up here in a percentage value that can also work as a type of validator for, I'm talking about as a validator for a continuation of trend, right? T Wood at Arca, what range are your bass, baritone, tenor, alto, mezzo, soprano, 3 octaves up, C, middle C? So I'm actually able to hit even a 4th on falsetto. So, and I am tenor. So let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. And what we're looking at here is actually a potential bear flag, damn it. So so if we're looking at a bear flag here, the downside continuation may actually be in play. And somebody called the bear flag. Sebastian Lim actually said, is that a bear flag, LOL? Look at the bear's strength right now, 70% over the 30% bulls. So it looks like DBSI is actually giving us a pretty strong read for a downside continuation. So this is very interesting that we're actually getting this bear flag and also the indicator giving us a downside continuation. Okay, so I want to reference the upper term time frame because this is actually a broadening descending wedge that we've been riding in actually for quite some time. This is a very large one. You're looking at July 5th, 2016. T Wood, what range are you? Go ahead and let me know. So you're looking at July 5th, 2016, and we're actually still within it. Okay, so if we're looking at tests, let's just go ahead and get rid of DBSI, and man, this could actually still be on a higher term trade. Okay, so if we're looking at this on the 5-day, maybe even on the weekly, wow, this is insanity. Very cool. So you're looking at test 1, 2, 3, you have 4. My goodness, remember when I tell you guys 5, 6? When you start getting into the 6 and 7s, then the downsides become a lot more probable, right? You're looking at 8, 7 and 8, 9. This is official, man, 10. We came back to test that support. We thought we were going to move on to the upside. Never actually did, right? And finally capitulated all the way to the downside where we're creating this tiny little bear flag that they may actually introduce the downside that I still am looking at here. Okay, so I just... Remember that natural gas actually ends up playing a little bit of an inverse correlation to broader markets. And what I mean by that is that you would actually follow the DXY alongside the price action of natural gas of the WTI ticker, which is oil futures and things like that, and also you can see the inverse correlation with Bitcoin as well. So when you're looking at this go down, it's interesting that Bitcoin is going up, right? So this is what I mean. So this ticker symbol BOIL is actually a pretty good opportunity, guys. If there's manipulation in this, there's probably manipulation, whatever. But this is not one of those tickers that you would call out and try to fight the shorts, right? This is not the ticker for that. So this is actually this alongside the XAU ticker and also the US 30 ticker and WTI for the matter. You can create long-lasting careers out of just trading this ticker here. Okay, so also the WTI ticker and those others, right? So in this case, this could honestly, based on raw price action and also on the statistical analysis of the DBSI, there could be a potential for a pretty nice short in this ticker here. And another reason why we can say that is if we refer to the 8-hour time frame, we're approaching that 7, or arguably right within it now, that 70 to 75% completion to the apex of the triangle, which would in essence introduce the downside continuation, right? So in this case, we can actually take that price objective from the triangle itself. So we'll take a trend line from the top side of the triangle all the way to the lower end of the triangle, right? And we can apply it to the supposed area of breakout, right? So we'll just do it right around here just to be safe at around 75, 80%. And the downside target being suggested here is about $5, of which we're currently sitting, let's see, just $1 above. So that could be a massive opportunity for a short position trade. So there is a potential of getting short this stock, but let's validate the downside. And notice on the 8-hour how exponential the strength of the bears is being suggested via the DBSI statistical indicator. Okay, so remember, guys, if you are interested in acquiring these indicators, you can just go ahead and refer to the links in the description below where you'll find Twitter and Discord. Send me a DM and we'll go over the packages, the sub packages for this, and everything would be good, right? So this is, let's see, BOIL should join the list. Yeah, I see that, man. But it's just the inverse correlation to the broader markets versus this. So a lot of people, I'm talking really for real, like big time day traders, they pay attention to this, man. They pay attention to this ticker versus the VIX versus the DXY versus Bitcoin versus the SPX and all the Qs all in different screens so that they can gauge an understanding of where the markets are moving in a day's period. So knowing that information gives you a huge edge over the markets, not particular to the OTC world. It would give you an edge over NYSE Arca and NYSE and the NASDAQ tickers, right? So things that even the Dow Jones Industrial. So things that are within that area, right? NASDAQ 100, 200, all of that stuff, right? So it'll give you a true edge to know the position of everything that also works inversely and whatever else. So in this case, let's validate the downside. Let's see what we got. So let's go to the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame and take a look. So the RSI is suggesting an upside continuation, but ever so slight. Okay, we have that 14-day simple literally right above us for that resistance. And as you can see here, we've been using it as a resistance on that way down anyway. So T-Wood, been a while. Comfortable alto. Wow, diaphragm issues with base. What the dude? Alto? That is crazy. So you're a high singer. Very cool. I have a few singers that are altos, and I absolutely love their voices, right? So I can hit my range is definitely within the alto range, but it's not comfortable, right? But I can. So let's go ahead and move on to the bi-hourly here and continue on the analysis. You're looking at here we go. So the bi-hourly is suggesting the downside continuation now, okay? And we're approaching the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, which would essentially introduce that continuation to the way down, which is why I'm saying that this could be a good opportunity for short or for getting short this stock, right? Let's go ahead and move on to the 6-hour and see what it's got. So the 6-hour time frame is also now making a bearish cross below that 14-day simple. And this time it looks like it's for real because we actually haven't been below it since about February 6th. Okay, so now that we're on February 15th, moving on to the 16th, this is actually now landing in the gravitational zone, which would essentially have us drop and continue on to the downside. Another validator to the downside, which, by the way, the DBSI indicator is correct by looking at already. Okay, guys, a lot of the times I don't show you these indicators because they kind of play life a little easy. And I don't like to show you that because that's not the way for trading, okay? Although, yes, I'm technically shilling it so that you can be able to help me out with my trading future and my living, right? I understand that, but I care a lot about your discretion. I care a lot about how you look at the markets first. I would really like for you to take into consideration using these indicators only after you've practiced your discretion. Okay, so when you practice your discretion, and I'm being very honest here, you guys, I'm literally driving business away from myself by telling you that you should really practice your discretion, understand price action, understand formation analysis, understand some stats behind that, understand your RSI, basic indicators. So then from there, you'll be able to understand why this is giving you that bear signal. So here, we got the bear signal before, and then we followed along by getting the validations continually throughout the whole analysis, right? So this is why I'm doing it in that manner. I'm showing you the downside and why. So understanding why and not just only taking position based on these easy like these easy, freaking indicators here that just magic happens out of them. I would rather you understand the price action first, and then use tools like these for further validation, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the 12-hour actually, and see what it's got for us. Okay, so 12-hour is also suggesting a downside, but it looks a little limited, and the reason why it's limited is because of this. Again, this is very discretionary of me to tell you. Okay, the limited downside. First of all, let's take into consideration our moving averages. Okay, so let's load up the SMAs and see what we have below us to see if there's anything in relevance. If there isn't, then we're going to refer to the fibs. Okay, so let's load up the EMAs and see. These likely are above us as well. Okay, so nothing below us in moving averages in the 12-hour. Okay, but this is where the 12-hour is being suggested. A limited downside in the 12, so we look at the 12-hour to that potential downside. So now let's take the prior iteration, swing high to swing low in the fib. Okay, in this case, we can actually see a very desired target already at 581. But if I'm going to be completely honest, I would favor the 1.618 at 562, and it would actually be in line with the downside, with the lower end of these candles here. So which in all essence, I wouldn't go all the way to 562. I would wait for the 562 bounce and let this come back up and validate the newly converted, what was a support, into now a resistance before continuing on to the downside. And please take a look at where our price objective is landing, right in conjunction with that $5.08 of the 2.618 inverse golden mean. Okay, so understanding these types of things first would be absolutely just beneficial to your trading career and to your trading strategy, right? Yes, I want you to buy these because it's going to help my pocket out a lot. But I don't want you to buy these if you're new to trading and if you're understanding what price action is doing now. Okay, so consider looking at things like this first and then using these for a validator for that. Okay, which is why I don't show you so often. But let's move on. Let's go to the daily and see what it's got for us. Daily also suggesting a limited downside here. And the limited downside I can say because, yet again, discretion playing here. That 14-day simple moving average is landing right in that gravitational zone of the oversold percentile, which would essentially mean that we would find a limited downside support from both the gravitational zone and the 14-day simple before a continuation onto the upside, giving this relation. I'm talking about between the RSI signal to the 14-day simple. I'm giving a correlation here. So the distance between here and here looks to be the distance between here and here. Okay, so again, this is not mathematical. This is absolutely like I feel like it would do this type of situation. So this is why it's discretion. Okay, so in this case, I can see the correlation between the targets of the 1.618 and the oversold percentile 14-day simple moving average placement. Okay, so I'm telling you guys, the easy tools also show us an immense amount of correlation and confluence actually with price action. Okay, the rest of this, the algorithmic trading and the mathematical models within indicators, man, they make life so much easier. I get it. Okay, but I really urge you to try to, if you already own the indicators, great, but please learn these metrics, these strategies, there's so many ways of looking at the markets, right? Beso Amy, who in the world is Rob Halford? So let's go ahead and continue on here to the buy daily and see if we have some more downsides. So there's consolidation on the buy daily. The 3-day is also suggesting some consolidation as well, and the 5-day as well. Okay, so in this case, we can actually face a bounce from the 1.618, get that rejection at the 0.618 at 616 before coming back down and just lingering around the 1.272 and the 1.618 for whatever amount of time it needs for the markets to decide whether we're going to go up or down. Okay, so that's essentially what I'm looking at for ticker symbol BOIL. And I'm going to go ahead and, oh my goodness, you listen to metal and old school metal. Nice. So I actually have been playing guitar for 18 years now, 19 years, I think, singing for 16, around there. So yeah, ticker symbol BOIL, that's that's it. And now, again, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and really honor the fact that we're not gonna rate for the shorts. Okay, so it's screaming for vengeance. Yeah. Beso Amy, good to see you here. Very awesome for you to stop by. I'm not sure if you've already been in the background, right? But here you are. Hello to you. And Mark Roach saying, I prefer Bruce Dickinson. Sorry, my screening. Nice. I like it. Samantha H, what's up with you? All right, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker, guys, and that is gonna be ticker symbol RCRT per hound. So Indra H asking what my band is called. If I released that information, I don't have a band anymore, but I did tour, and I absolutely had a record deal too, right? So I was signed and on tour, and I was also endorsed by many instrument companies. I can't give that away because that would essentially give my identity out, right? So I can't really do that. I also am a seasoned mixing and mastering engineer, and I do have music out in shows that you may or may not watch. So one of them, you're never going to be able to find my name on this one, right? But one of those shows being the, let's see. It's the spinoff of the Sons of Anarchy, and it's the Mayans. So I actually have some music on there. And Audrey, what's up with you? Good to see you here. No. Arca is not a rock star, although it looked like it, right? Now you are the chart whisperer, right? Beso Amy saying, oh, when rock was king. Oh my goodness. So American Arca Idol. My goodness. Oh guys, I actually yeah. So I mean I show you all the time. You know, I literally show you all the time the things that I write, right? Every single day you're listening to it. And that's this. Right? So that's actually a pop song that I'm working on for a girl. So Arca is a biker. I raced motocross professionally for years until I had too many accidents. I was also sponsored by well, you know that I'm in Palmdale, California. So I was actually sponsored by Saugus Suzuki. I was sponsored by Fox Gear. Also Troy Lee Design helmets. So yeah, I've had my run around the world it's a little weird, right? So I've actually appeared in magazines for that as well. Final Lap magazine to be precise here. Oh my goodness, guys, don't we have to move on here. We have to move on to the next ticker. Arca has many hats. Yes, I do. I really do. And I love venturing into new things and learning them just because I want to know them to the T. And I find a lot of joy into knowing new things and mastering them. Not only, I'm not talking about just like to dabble within it. I want to be fluent at it, at whatever I try. Right. So, and then this is my newest love, actually, the trading. It's been 15 months. So this one has been my newest venture, and I love it. I love it so much. So who knows where I'm going to be in another year? Probably not as Arca. because I'm so, you know how my energy is. Like, you already saw how I naturally am, going all crazy here. So that's how I am with the things that I practice as well. Like, I'm so like involved. I love it so much. I want to just continue and learn more, and then just let it go and then move on to the next thing, right? So Beso Amy saying now he's safe behind a keyboard. Wife is happy. Yeah, I've been playing piano for 13 years. Mark Roach, he wears a baseball cap backwards like Limp Bizkit. It's funny, you know that. I'm literally wearing my backwards cap right now, and it is a Los Angeles Dodgers black cap with my name on it. Oh my goodness, guys, that is so funny. I really do. And also, if you don't know, I actually just to put it out there, I have no, I am not an Aries. I actually have a birthday. I'm a Libra. Okay, so white socks. Let me see. No, black socks right now. So I actually, and now just to give you another weird aspect of me, I actually have 1-inch gauges in my ears. So I have huge holes with It looks like diamonds all the way around. So Mark Roach is the neighbor. He sees me all the way across the fence. Of course you do. Keeping it real. I've been listening to you for a while, but never say anything. I think I know who you are. No way. I'm sorry. What's your, I can't actually see you. What is your name and where did we meet? And how is this possible? But I do live in LA. I do live in Palmdale, California, right? But just to give you guys some hints as to what I don't show myself, guys. I don't show myself because I feel like it would just really present. I don't have a nice appearance. I'm really edgy. You know, I have this, what a lot of people consider to be a punk, right? But I'm really not any of that. And in fact, I'm super technical and I really like learning and I love math, right? So when you look at me, you would actually think that this guy just looks like he came out of a freaking, you know, like a rock band's van. So, so I like to kind of keep my appearance, you know, not shown, right? So, just so that people don't get weirded out by it, right? Because I don't look like a person who would honestly trade and show the way I do, right? So T Wood saying, don't judge a book by its cover, right? Absolutely, man. I would be the epitome example of that. I would definitely not be the example of, I'm sorry, I would be the example of that. I'm trying to say, sorry. So, can you hang things from your ears? I can. And in fact, I have. Exactly. But look at Cal. He's saying just be you. And that's exactly what I do, man. And it is better to stay anonymous. I honestly, yeah, right. So, yeah, no, and they can't, right, Cal? Hound. I've actually hung. Let's see. I've tried to hang my 64 ounce hydro flask, but without water, of course, and it actually did it. So I stopped right away because I realized that it was stretching my ears even more. So I don't want it to be bigger than the inch that they are. So yes, Samantha, thank you so much. No, it's keeping it real, saying I could be wrong. Does it start with a T? Are you talking about my first name? If you're referring to my first name, then no. My first name is not with a T. Keeping it real, looks are deceiving. Who cares? Absolutely. I definitely agree with you. And yeah, it's just I don't like to show myself. It's just I just don't want to show myself because guys, it's just it's not really like a part of Dwight. Thank you for your donation, my friend. Love you, man. Really appreciate that. So no. Yeah. I don't want to continue. I just don't show myself, guys, because it really is an edgy appearance. Okay. It looks, I'm just edgy, you know, it looks like, yeah. If you guys want to know, my wife would often refer to me as like, ooh, you look like a bad boy. Right. So it's not like that. I just wear what I like and I am the way I am, right? You guys. Oh my goodness. His first name is Arca, last name Arca, middle name Arca. That is absolutely right, Mark Roach. That is absolutely right. And actually a huge hit to make sure that we can actually cover the last ticker for tonight. And that is actually going to be for, B. Actually, I would be called a gangbanger all the time. I'm not kidding when I say that I really do look like a punk. And I really do look like I should belong in like a Hot Topic magazine, right? I don't have any tattoos, right? I just have a really last name chart whisperer, right? Arca chart whisperer. Oh my goodness. Arca the name, don't wear it out. That's right. So yeah, you guys, I just don't show it because a lot of people don't take me seriously when they see me, right? And then they realize when I'm not and how I look, it has nothing to do, right? I just don't care about like being so presentable. So, Dwight, who are you referring to while donating to me, my friend? So 2 guesses over here already. Thanks, my dude. Really appreciate your donations. But guys, when I do decide to show myself, then you'll be like, all right. He's a good dude. All right, so no neck tattoos. No, I don't want to keep neck tattoos because it's because I don't want my kids, right? I don't want my kids to wear them. I don't want them to wear tattoos like that because I just finally realized why my mom didn't want me to stretch my ears. So whatever, guys, it's all good. Keeping it real. I think I signed into Discord and then it asked for my phone number. Is that correct? Yes. Keeping it real, please. It's not for me to keep your number. It's just literally a validator, and then it just lets you in and then it forgets it. So it's just for the validation process. It's kind of like to make sure that we don't have any of those Arca imposters coming in. So just know for a fact that it's just we've had a lot of issues with that too. A lot of people saying, "Hey, why is it asking for my phone number?" Right? So yeah, Los Angeles. Well, I'm in Palmdale, right? So I feel like my ears are already enough, and my wife told me, "Don't take them off." She said, "Don't take them off. They're a part of who you are," and I agreed with her. And now that I'm doing this for you guys, I feel like I'm in a safer place to embrace who I've always been and continue on that same path, right, you guys? So, so T Wood, Cal L, pop up a Discord photo spot. I'm like, dude, guys. So let's go ahead and move on to the last ticker for tonight, and that's gonna be for my man Hound. You have good beats, Neutron to beat. Oh my goodness, dude, I can write beats. I can definitely do that. I can write beats, and I can actually write. Lots of people talking about that name too. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for your donation, by the way, Dwight. It really means a lot, my dude. I can't tell you how much my family appreciates that. So I could actually write beats, and I could actually write, I could actually write in any genre you can ever imagine. So anything. Keeping it real. Good, I'll put it in. Good deal. Thank you so much. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at the last ticker. And that's going to be for my man Hound, RCRT. All right, so I already had it uploaded here, and everything is looking very good. All right, so yes, so this is going to be referencing volatility versus momentum. Okay, you guys, so please remember that we're just going to go ahead and rate this one as the last ticker for tonight, and that's going to be ticker symbol RCRT for Hound, right? I want to make sure that that you're here. Hound, you're still here, right, buddy? I want to make sure that you get your analysis. All right. So volatility represented by these red clouds here, and momentum represented by the moving average of the MACD. Okay, so this indicator is also good to see you, Hound. So this indicator is also part of the Cripstex series ARC indicators. Okay, so this is enhanced MACD, ARC enhanced MACD. Okay, it's right up here. You can see the title. So if you guys hear me talk about, I'm talking about volatility versus momentum. Cripstex got it pretty much on the money here. And what I'm talking about is the fact that when you see me reference things like this, right? Let's go ahead. This volatility versus momentum, and then I do my back tests, right? So this in particular being a huge backtest that I did for AMC. So when I talk about volatility versus momentum, that's what I'm referring to in a very, very condensed manner. So this is all condensed into one indicator that also gives you bear and bull signals. Again, you guys, please practice your discretion first before considering these indicators, okay? But if you are interested, please reach out to me on DM and we'll go over the subscription packages, okay? So in this case, we are still suggesting a long signal here, even though we actually face this capitulation here. As you can see, we are riding a broadening descending wedge, okay? So this broadening descending wedge has test 1, 2. We have, this is a fake out, okay? So we're gonna count this 3 as 4 here. And then remember, on 5-day time frame, okay? This is macro, so that means there's a huge reversal in play, and it may be soon, okay? So this is test number 5, which is also a valid test. I've mentioned before that test number 4 is usually the test where it actually breaks out to the upside. In the event where it fails that test number 4, there is also the test number 5. But beyond this, it starts to get a little weird, just similar to what's happening to the ticker symbol BOIL, where we were looking at the huge macro time frame, broadening descending wedge with a million tests of the resistance, and then eventually capitulating. So it never realized its actual true target, which would have been at about $958. In fact, it's sitting at $5, right? Or somewhere around there. So in reference to RCRT, we are still within the bounds of a good test. Even though we failed it, that's typical for us to come back down. Okay, it has to practice. This is not a test here because we actually succeeded the 4-hour, right? I'm sorry, the fourth test, my apologies. We then reclaimed the inside of this channel, and then we actually came back up to test the resistance. We didn't mean to break out here. This was not a breakout. This is in fact just a test. So that is why we're not counting all of the tests, okay? So we have to know price action in order for us to continue. In this case, we are breaking out, and now we're actually reaccumulating so that we can make the true 5-test breakout, okay? If we can do that, we're going to validate with momentum now. So far, volatility versus momentum is suggesting a continuation to the upside, and as you can see in Enhanced MACD, actually, not the bull signal, it contracted to a very tight level, and it's now expanding, okay? So that's a signal that there is a potential upside incoming. So let's go ahead and reference the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame to see if we do have any type of upside. All right, so it looks like we do. The 30-minute immediate short-term is suggesting an upside continuation immediately. The bi-hourly time frame is now sitting in the junction between the bear strength and the bear weakness percentile in the gravitational zone, which would essentially pressure us to the upside. Let's go to the 6-hour and see what we got. The 6-hour is giving us an upside bias as well. It looks to be limited though. So if it is going to be limited, there's likely a resistance for us to consider in the short-term time frame, right? For us to, if I'm going to be very in discretion, full discretion here, okay? If I'm going to put the 14-day simple into consideration between the space between the RSI signal and the 14-day simple, I can already see the touch being this candle here. And why else is because of this tiny little gap here. So I'm going to give you 2 zones in a very discretionary manner. Let's make a drawing just like this. Okay, so this is essentially the area that I'm looking for. Okay, and this, oh my goodness, this is, wow. Okay, so check this out. In the discretionary manner that I just gave you here, per the close of this candle, let's go ahead and just make this a little longer and notice the relation here with this candle. See, and it's a gap. It's the support of it. So this is why I'm saying that we can actually face a resistance here in the 6-hour term before a continuation to the downside. This looks like it still has some validations that it needs. Okay, so let's continue validating. Let's go to the 12-hour now and see what it's got. 12-hour is giving us a downside suggestion as well as that 14-day simple. I hate these little pivots, but we are in that gravitational zone, which would essentially pressure us down. Let's go to the daily. The daily is pretty much just like that 12-hour time frame. We don't want to give this too much of a bias, right? Or credit. All right. So the bi-daily is actually suggesting that downside continuation. Enhanced MACD is printing the bear signal on the bi-daily. Okay. So very interesting that we're now starting to correct here. So if it is going to be a limited downside, then we would know by the 3-day and the 5-day. Okay. So if we're looking at a downside continuation, I'm talking about this type of trajectory, okay? Continuing on to the upside like this, further downside likely to be right within this area here, okay? In this area is where I'm expecting a bounce before continuing on to whatever direction this asset is going to decide. We would have to validate that later. Okay, so essentially the touch of the resistance where we're talking about best case scenario 47.97 to about 46.71 before a continuation to the way down in a very slow manner to test, I would say 34.17. Now, on the daily time frame, let's go ahead and take an inverse. Well, first of all, let's take a regular fib, right? From the current day's high to the swing low and take a look at our price action. Let's see if there's anything there. So it looks like we're just at the 2 fib above the 1.618. Actually, sorry, just under the 2 fib, just upside of the 1.618. And the next one is landing in confluence with the 2.272. Very, very likely targets. Okay, so absolutely, we have to take this into high relevance. Okay, or high, whatever, you know what I mean. So now to the downside, let's go ahead and just take an inverse fib from the current day's swing high to the swing low to the swing high. And let's just take a look at our target down. Where was our target? We already drew that, didn't we? Where are we? Where are we? Nick, thank you so much for your donation, my dude. Really, 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 really appreciate you. Here it is. So here's the target that we were looking at in a discretionary manner. Audrey saying, Arca, I have a free basic training view account. Can I use that with your link for indicators, or should I open up a new one for your sub link? Oh, it's up to you. It's going to create more hassle for you to use my link and create a new, a new account, because you would have to then re-register on an email or whatever. So if you already have it, you don't have to do that for me. That's very kind of you. But the free account, you can see these indicators. There's restrictions, right, with the free accounts, where I think you can only load maybe one instance or two instances of indicators. As you move up into the paid accounts, then you're going to start getting more freedom into adding unlimited amount of things. So in my case, I have the premium account, and I'm able to have unlimited saves of tickers, and also an unlimited amount of charts, and also a max amount of charts ongoing and all in one shot, right? So I can actually have probably 16 charts up at once. So those are just some limitations, but Audrey, thank you so much. So let's go ahead. No more docs donations. What is DOX, man? Yes, but want to make sure you get the full credit. Oh, Audrey, that's very kind of you. That's super kind of you. And yes, in fact, if you were considering a paid account, it would honestly help me out a lot. And then you could actually refer to me, and you can just start off with maybe 1 month, right, of the subscription, just to try them out and see if it's something that you are willing to use. And then whatever else. But please, I'm not sure I think you already reached out to me. I think we already talked too in DM, if I'm not mistaken. I talked to a lot of people. My apologies. But yes, refer to me on a DM and we can further this conversation. But guys, so the discretion that I was giving you here regarding the closure of this, or the opening of this candle here rather, it's landing right at the 2.272 at 34.26, where this, the objective was landing. So very, very much we can see the 32.95 to 34.26 after we touch this up here. That is the target of about 48.13. Remember, guys, it's going to be an upside before a downside, and then we're going to swiggle around and figure out what we're going to do, okay? But RCRT doesn't look extremely volatile. It actually looks like it's going to consolidate for some time after it makes these crazy moves, okay? Another thing to notice here is that this would essentially be filling out. Let me get rid of this, sorry. And this as well. This is essentially realizing an ascending channel. So the ascending channel, I can just draw it in for you so you can get a quick look, right? Let's go ahead and, where is the channel? There it is. Okay, so just like this, right? And like this. So I know it's very messy right now, right? But this is essentially what we're doing. And we've, it's a bearish formation. It actually fails it. Then it comes back and tests the resistance, right? And then it actually continues on to the downside. So this can still be considered a shooting star as well. And the downside looks to be a little imminent here. Just we're going to face a little bit of an upside. If you are long this stock, consider liquidating the position. Audrey saying, okay, thank you, but you have to stay with us and teach. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You're the best. Okay, you guys. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at. If you're long this position, like I said, consider removing a risk here and or liquidating the position before this thing makes you a bag holder, right? And then everything will be good. Hound, are you still in the green with this, or are you in the red? Why I'm asking is because do we need to figure out an exit strategy? And if we do need to figure out an exit strategy, please reach out to me on DM on Discord, and then we can actually plan something out on this, because I don't want you to just kind of freehand whatever here and then just facing like a loss without actually having a plan for it, right? Just like we go in, guys, when we get long a stock, there is a plan to get long and there is a plan to get short, and there also is a plan for exit. Okay, so we have to be just as creative with our exits and stop losses as we are creative with our entries or shorts. Entries in generals, of course. Of course, entry could be short, entry could be long, just being ridiculous here. All right, you guys. So I think this is a pretty good place for me to leave off the the video, okay, you guys. But I'm really appreciative of all the donations and all the questions tonight. Got a little personal today, but it's still good. I love to answer these. Okay, Hound, I'm near cost. I'd like to exit soon. 47 would work, although I was hoping for a 50. Thank you. Okay, so that 50-cent zone is a probability, but it's a lesser probability. I was gonna actually give it, but I'm afraid that that's and it's actually particular to 49.89 to 49.52. Okay, 49.52 to 49.89 would essentially be the best case scenario. So Audrey, oops. No, okay, so no parachuting for our chart whisperer. No parachuting. No. Yes, peace, love, and happiness for my guys, moderators. Thank you so much for sticking around. Sebastian Lim, love you, buddy. I'm gonna catch you soon, okay, you guys. Cal L, always good to have you guys here. Mark Roach, love you, dude. Hound, and I think DJ was in here earlier. I think he may have actually needed to catch some sleep, but I am eternally thankful for all of you, okay, you guys. I appreciate everybody for stopping by tonight. And Beso, Amy, thank you. Have a very good night. Audrey, have a good night. And I need you guys to be safe, okay? Be safe in the markets. Remember, PPI tomorrow. We need to watch out. T Wood, have a good night, buddy. All right, you guys. But with that said, I wish you well. I wish you a very good night. And I will catch you at the bell mañana. Samantha H, love you. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.